All right.
We are live.
Welcome to episode 2 of TAP.
We just did it yesterday.
We literally did it yesterday. We were expecting a week's break between our sessions, but we had
fuck it.
We said fuck it, and we decided we're gonna do one today as well. So congratulations, chat! You get a double feature,
Little bonus
episode. So when last we left off, there was some trouble with Mr. Gerald Fitz's favorite prize colt. It was turned out that it seemed to have been drained by a vampire. Meanwhile, Chance and Atakte were going to the general store, go buy some bullets. Because Atakte was interested in learning the ways of the gunslinger, at least how the gun functions itself, being a rather foreign weapon to him. So, with this, I leave the adventure in the party's hands. What do you wish to do?
Who do we want to start with, since we're kind of split at the moment?
Because remember,
Who wants to start first?
Remember, we ended with me and him like just having gotten bullets.
So we should pick up.
Right. Okay. Very well.
Okay.
Follows, Estella, Beaumont.
Last time I asked Estella if she could ask around where the sheriff lives, to not ask about the daughter.
All right.
That's what happened.
All right. Well, what do you want to do, Estella?
Oh, we're starting with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
What do you wish to do with said information?
We're starting with NPC.
I can't remember where I was at yesterday.
Well,
I think I was in the.
do you need further details of what we were...
Well, I don't remember where I was, so that's the problem.
You hadn't moved. You were still at the stables, but you were just
I was
leaving.
at the stables. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to recap.
Okay. Well, so far your primary suspects are the last people to be seen with the Colt. And those are believed to be Sheriff Dowry and his daughter. So, those are your primary suspects in this mystery.
I don't remember the layout of the town. Do I have to roll for that, or?
Well, no, I'll go ahead and tell you. Near the front of the town, leading out towards where the train station, where you originally arrived, you have the sheriff's office on the right-hand side. Across the way, you have an ice cream parlor. Next to the sheriff's office, you have a barber shop, followed by a slight gap that leads down the road, down this small back alley, where the blacksmith has his workshop, as well as his work shed next to it. Next to that building, we have none other than our lovely general store. And across the way from that, we have our tavern. Down the way, just a wee bit, there's a couple houses. At the very end, where the main avenue seems to end, is this large church. To the left-hand side, you have a graveyard. And to the right, a stable. So, where do you wish to go?
I'd like to check out. The blacksmith.
All right. So you head down the street, hustle and bustle. It's about noonish. Not even that. It's like 10 a.m. So, a lot of hustle and bustle. There's actually a sort of parting in the crowds as a lady dressed in all white, carrying a parasol, comes strolling in. A small little teacup hat on top. She comes strolling down the street. Many gentlemen saying, "Morning, Elizabeth!" And she continues walking, greeting them, and proceeding straight to where the stables are.
Sorry. actually know what to do here.
Are we with her, or is she?
No, I think I'm on my own at this point.
Okay.
I mean, you guys are still at the stables.
And is she on her way to the stable?
She's headed to the stable. She's headed down the street.
Did we also see Elizabeth?
Yes, it's very hard because she has a beautiful face.
Right.
Complexion of that
I
of
miss her. You mean?
it is, especially since she's wearing pure white.
Yeah.
Alright, well, if they're already at the stables, then I think I'll go talk to the blacksmith if that's possible.
All right. You walk, crossing paths with Elizabeth. She greets you good morning. Morning. And continues on her way, and you continue on yours. You make it down to the blacksmith, where you see this hardy-looking dwarvish man. He says, "What can I do you for? I mean, do for you?"
Hello there, good sir. Do you happen to know anything about the sheriff by chance?
Well, yes, he's been with us for several years. He's actually been here longer than I have. Well, what do you want to know exactly?
Well, I wanted to speak with him, but I couldn't find him. Do you happen to perhaps know where he lives?
Well, actually, it's down the road from where the sheriff's office is, right? There's a large house, right? About twice the size of the standard that you see around here. And, it's got a large, sort of, backyard area, or plot of land, around it. So, you should be able to get there off of that, yeah?
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Glad I could help. Out of curiosity, you want to buy something?
What do you have?
Well, what kind of, metal things do you need? Hinges for your houses? I presume you're looking to, travel west, set up a small homestead of your own? Possibly? I know that's what most people here tend to be doing.
I'm not really looking to settle down, more of travel.
Travel. Well, it's important that you protect yourself. So, I make the finest, guns, or knives, etc. If you, wish to partake. Also, as you can see, make very fine bullets. I just made a case right here. He sort of unlatches this mold.
I heard bullets and I got excited. I'm not here though.
Yeah. He unlatches this mold, and he pulls this out, and he sort of grabs these sort of tongs, these metal tongs that he pulls out the bullet with. He's like, "Ain't that a beaut? Don't touch it though, it's pretty hot, this one." He sort of like just dips it in the water. Next to him, places it on the table.
I'm not really one for guns, per se. Could I possibly see knives?
Knives? Well, absolutely. Here's a fine one right here. And it's, he brings out this blade that has a sort of hexagonal design to it. Almost like a rupee from Legend of Zelda. Right? In its shape and design. Except it's made out of cast iron. And even the hilt has sort of this weird hexagonal shape to it. However, it has a sort of cross section made up of squares on the very ends of it.
Lovely craftsmanship. How much?
Well, for a piece like this, I would say a gold piece.
You still have yourself a deal.
Very well. Thank you very much, ma'am. He hands it to you, hilt towards you. He takes your gold piece. Pleasure doing business. I hope you have a nice chat with the sheriff. Give him my regards.
Thank you, I will.
And so, head down the street, follow his directions. You see a rather large house. The curtains covering the windows. And you notice, it seems to be empty at the moment, for the most part, but you can investigate further if you wish.
Yeah. Do I roll or do I just?
Well, what do you want to do exactly?
I just want to peek around a bit.
All right. So on his property, he actually has a sort of barn in the back, and he has a mount, a rather sizable steed, pure black, and there's also a dog sleeping in the backyard, medium size.
All right. Can you describe the house a bit more?
All right. So you have the house. Sort of, it's large. It's sort of got a wide build to it. It's about 2 stories tall. So, although for 2 people, this house could probably house, I would say, a family of at least 5, at least, with relative comfort. It has 2 chimneys, from what you can tell. It's almost like a small mansion of sorts. And the building is just brown wood, but it's got a black shingles on the top, and the actual property and the fence around it is just wood fence post, but it's sort of to either side of this wide house, so the yard itself goes rather far back.
All right. I may want to retreat because I'm not actually sure what to do at this point. Like, even if I approached, I don't know what I would say to him. So I think I'm just gonna head back to the stables where everyone else is.
All right. So, what is everyone else doing in the meantime?
So Elizabeth's walking towards us,
Yes.
right?
You gonna tap that?
How far away is she?
Well, at this point in time, she's about 100 feet away.
Okay. We'll wait for her to get closer.
All right.
Correct.
She sort of gets, she approaches. She gets within 50 feet. Anything you want to do now?
Elizabeth, right?
Yes. Good day, sir.
Just curious, have you seen anything abnormal going on recently?
Well, there were all the decaying cattle. It was a little bit of a strange thing going on as of recently. My father said some kind folk took care of it, though.
It's nice. I hear you look at his steed, his famous steed.
Well, I was actually going to see the mares, but I mean, he is one of my favorite horses.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear what happened though to it?
No, did something happen?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been sickly recently. Now I'm no expert, but it looks like it had to do with a susceptible amount of blood missing from it.
Oh dear. You don't suppose it could be the same thing that was happening to the cattle, do you?
It's plausible. We've been fighting creatures like that.
Could it be something? Could it possibly affect people?
I mean, it only went after the animals when we fought them, so.
Oh no. Do you suppose it's actually done? I mean, my father said they dealt with it, but
Well, we're gonna go deal with where they're coming from.
we? You were the one?
Well, I had a couple friends. They're out right now, including Lord Belmont.
Oh, hello.
Now, it's a possible theory that this is different from what we've been fighting. Sort of more like a vampire. Have you heard of vampires?
Yes, I am familiar with vampires. Sorry.
So, just has any trouble been happening other than have people been affected at all?
Not other than the crime that tends to flow through the town, but my father's very good at dealing with this sort of thing. You know, a lot of it is hustles by gang members, and recently the Wheelers have been getting foothold in this town.
I see. I'm gonna look at her neck. Like, is she wearing anything over her neck, or is it?
Well, yes, it's the dress itself is like very conservative in terms of it covers the arms, and she's wearing white gloves as well, and she's wearing her little
So would you say it's hard to see like her neck, right? Or is it?
yeah, you can't really see her neck.
Now I'm going around asking people, you know, because there's a lot of people at the stables. It could have been anyone, but do you think it could be your father?
Oh no, my father wouldn't dare to do anything such as that.
What about do you have any ideas of who it could be?
No, I honestly don't. The people in this town are very kind, and I just couldn't picture it, other than if there's any new people to the town. That's the only thing I could think of.
Now, I'm just curious. I saw you and your father's footsteps around that same horse, and I was just, not to put you into any sort of pressure or anything, but you two are my current investigation subjects.
Oh my. Well, I'll have you know the only reason me and my father actually come to visit these stables is, because my fondness for animals.
Right, I heard about
admittedly.
that.
Yes. I really like, I actually ride a bit.
That's
Horses.
interesting.
Yeah. Gerald is very nice to me.
So, I'm gonna ask you a blatant question, and you should answer honestly. Did you do that to that horse?
Why would I do that? I would never think of harming.
You know, I'm gonna do an insight check.
Alright.
Oh Jesus Christ, 23.
She seems to be telling the truth.
Alright. Well, you look like a good lass, and you're free to go.
Thank you very much. Listen, I know my father tends to be a bit of an odd character, seeing that he's an albino. He gets a lot of,
Flack for that?
funny looks, to say the least. But, try to understand, he's a good man.
Yeah. I met him a bit earlier. Alright, well, you have a good day.
Thank you, sir. She proceeds to walk towards the stables and continue. She greets Gerald. Hello, Gerard. What do you wish to do now?
Do I see Estella anywhere?
I mean, by this time, Estella's walking back
Okay.
down the street.
Well, let's go.
Alright.
Alright, anything, Aurier and Second Chance want to do in the
We just
meantime?
bought the bullets and came out of the shop, so.
Alright.
Yeah. So to
You
to
spot
double
us.
check.
You spot Estella walking down the street towards, like, in the general direction you would be, and the other two walking
How
towards
do-
you from the other direction.
How do they seem to be looking?
They're looking at each other, but they also see you, so they sort of.
Well, no, not like where are they looking, but how do they seem? Like,
I don't know. How do you seem?
Very serious.
Same as before.
so
Estella!
Sorry, I was trying to. What was the question?
how do you seem right now? Like, are you serious or are you calm? Like,
I'm more in a calm state.
okay,
I'm in a bitchy attitude.
something going on with those two.
Alright.
Well, I think the best thing that we can do right now is head off to, where was it? Blacksmith? He sells guns, right?
I suppose.
To double check. Yes, the blacksmith sells guns.
What blacksmith?
Yes.
Is it a blacksmith?
Yeah, it's a blacksmith.
There's a blacksmith in town.
What blacksmith?
And I point to the direction of the blacksmith shop.
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, what is it? Well, essentially he makes weapons, armor, tools, anything you'll need. And I heard from the clerk in the store that he sells guns, so I think we should go head off to him to see if he's got a more reasonable price for us.
My people, great warriors. We shall see his wares.
All right. So before we head to into the blacksmith, I want to kind of meet up with everyone else. So, what did y'all find?
Well, horses apiece will cost us 35 gold.
As you're meeting up, you see a man sprinting down the street, pushing people aside, and you hear a gunshot as he gets tripped up and falls to the ground.
I immediately pull out my gun.
Alright, I pull out my bow and, knock an arrow.
You see that it's Sheriff Dowry who just shot the man's ankle, Achilles tendon, making it so he can't walk.
Alright, I immediately aim my bow at the man who was shot.
And he flips his revolver around, puts it in his pocket, walks over to the man, and handcuffs him.
I pull my my gun out and say, "Nice shot."
Thank you very much.
What man do?
Well, he turns out he's a member of a local gang called the Wheelers.
Wheelers.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Well, look at this. And he pulls the sort of his sleeve up, and there's a little brand of a wheel with a W sort of on top of it.
How does the man on the ground look?
Well, he seems...
Pain.
Yeah, he's like crying out in pain.
But I mean, what is it like? Does he have a beard of any sort? Is he how does he look when it comes to terms of societal?
He's
standards?
like he when I say a man, he's actually like a very young man. He's like in his early 20s. He's got a little bit of like peach fuzz on his face.
Human, I assume.
Yeah.
Alright, I ask him, human, part of Wheeler gang.
Piss off, bird!
I'd keep your mouth shut if I were you.
Or what, cat?
I cock my gun, put it right next to his head. I think you know what.
Roll for intimidation.
Oh, nice. Ah, damn. Oh, I have it right here. Oh, yeah. That's a 6. It's not very good.
He proceeds to spit at you.
So, Sheriff, where exactly are these Wheelers?
Well, they're a train gang. They, tend to, they're train robbers, to say the least. Recently, they've been trying to get a foothold in this town. I've arrested 3 so far. Your friend over there, I actually expected to be one for a while. Normally, they sort of hustle townsfolk, offer them protection, so to speak.
Bad business. What human name?
Well, I'm not entirely sure of that. All I saw was one of the shopkeepers seemed to get rather nervous when he was around.
Alright, I kneel down to the man that he's standing on top of and just go, what man name?
Huh?
What name?
Does anyone understand this stupid bird?
What's his name?
Whose name?
Yours.
None of your business.
Can I just just take out my dagger and just slowly stroke his scalp and just go, what name?
Jesus
What?
Christ.
Roll for intimidation.
Let's go with the black die for this one. That's gonna be terrible. That's like a 9.
Did you also roll 5?
Yeah.
He doesn't really.
Not care.
He just stares you down. And at which point, Sheriff Dari sort of brushes your dagger away, pulls him up by the scruff. He's like, "That's enough of that, fellas. I got this under control."
This boy's got a death wish.
Usually we take tongue if no answer question, and then I sheath my dagger.
It's not how we do things around here. And he's
Sheriff, do you mind if I meet with you after you walk him up?
Sure thing. He sort of just lifts him up by the scruff and carries him along.
Well, that boy ain't squirming, but hopefully the other two that he's got locked up will. If we can intimidate those folk, we'll get our answers.
Why not just track train gang?
Well, mostly if we get one of the rats to squeal, we'll know right where they are.
Alright.
I wish to close my eyes and feel if there's anything nature bound around or anything, like just to see how nature's feeling.
Alright. Roll for a nature check.
Well, let's do Nat 20.
Check your phone.
Oh.
So, wait, it was a natural 20?
Yeah, natural.
In terms of nature, it seems to be, everything seems to be hunky-dory in the town. So, it's that.
Okay.
You can sense that there is, they expect a bit of rain at most. So,
I'll follow Sheriff Dowry.
alright. Sheriff Dowry walking along. Eventually, guy sort of headbutts Dowry. Dowry's hat flies off. He sort of drops the guy. He's like stays sort of bent over, you know, his tightly knit hood still over his head. Grabs his hat slowly, puts it back on. Turns back to the man. Grabs him by the scruff again. Punches him back in the face. He's like, don't do that again. And he just sort of shoves him along until he gets him into the sheriff's office. Puts him in a cell. So, what do you wish to do?
Rain comes soon. Might see if creatures come out. Is there any nearby forests?
Who are you saying this to, by the way?
Just relate to myself.
Okay. Yeah, there's a bit of foliage in nearby areas. But for the most part, it seems to be plains. So when there is foliage, I wouldn't say it's forest per se. It's like little few knolls. So a couple bunches of trees every now and then.
Right. How's my mount looking?
Your mount seems to be doing pretty well. Looks a bit hungry though.
Alright. I take one of the cow's carcass legs and just kind of like throw it on the ground in front of it.
Proceeds to gobble it up. Bones and all.
Chance. When we practice.
Well, really depends. For the most part, I can teach you just about any time of the day, but right now we seem to have a pretty big mystery on our hands.
What mystery?
Well, we have to figure out where these wheelers are coming from. Also, we gotta figure out, you know, exactly where this, as like moving closer and whisper, vampire is.
Well, first issue. Wouldn't it be best to wait for a train to see where wheelers are? Ambush them on train.
It's true. We do have to wait for the train. But in the meantime, I don't mind teaching you. We can practice just about any time.
And what vampire?
Well, I overheard character's name? Volus talking about 2 bite marks in the necks of the horses.
What vampire?
Well, you'd have to talk to Volus about that. I don't know exactly what it is, but he seems to know most about this.
Any clue who vampire is?
I've overheard them talking about, I believe, the sheriff.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It seems pretty suspicious that the man does drink cow blood.
Vampire drink blood.
Yes, they basically feed off of it. It's disgusting.
What's wrong with cow blood?
Nothing's wrong with cow blood. However, it's the issue of they're taking the blood from the horses, and we need those horses.
Why not just give Vampire a cow, so therefore he may drink?
Well, clearly he's not satisfied with the cows. Either that, or there's no cows for him to suck the blood out of.
I say second point make more sense. After all, creatures do kill cattle, less for them around.
Very true. Let's meet back up with Folus. Once we figure out what we're looking for, we can practice, and while we practice, look out.
Right.
So we'll meet up back with Folus.
All right.
So
Follow.
I'm probably at the sheriff's office, right?
Yeah, you're with the sheriff right now. Right after he throws the man in the
Okay.
cage.
Is he gonna go sit down? Cause, what's his meter? Is he gonna leave again, or is he gonna?
He sort of sits down after dealing with the wheeler, puts his boots up on the table.
No, I'm not an expert in this, but I noticed one of the fine horses at the local stable was suffering from blood deficiency, which could mean that there is another creature that looked different from the ones we fought that is sucking the blood out of the horse, which is causing it to be sickly.
Well, you have any ideas?
I think it's what is known as a vampire.
I see. Well, any leads?
I was tracking some people at the stable. Not to offend you or anything, but I talked to your daughter first. I saw some sort of woman's footsteps, and I asked the guy who had came in here, and yeah, said you and your daughter.
Yes, well, she is quite fond of the ponies.
I think I already determined it's not her.
I see.
Now, my only other suspect.
Take a swig of alcohol before you go through with this.
Would be you,
Well, this is a conundrum, isn't it?
Roy.
Well,
How quickly would we get to the sheriff's station? I mean, chance.
you're like within 60 feet, so.
Alright, well, we're just gonna steadily move there.
All right.
Let us know when we get there.
Now, of course, there are chances that it was someone else from the stable, some sort of townsfolk. There were a lot of footprints, though I noticed really too noticeable was your daughter's, and you came there with your daughter. So,
Yes. Well, figured I'd escort her for once. I'm a very busy man. I like to spend time with her, but crime's been going up in town recently.
I'm gonna ask you a very bold question, and you should try to answer honestly.
Very well.
Are you a vampire?
Yes, I am.
Oh, thank God, I didn't have to roll inside. Now,
But I can assure you, it wasn't me.
it wasn't you.
No. See, issue is, I'm the law keeper around here. Wouldn't be very good at fitting of me. Go around stealing people's livestock, would it?
I'm not saying you're the one stealing the livestock. Those are the bats we fought.
No. See, by consuming the blood of the horse, I would be, therefore, removing his opportunity to sell said pony.
I see.
In any case, I consider that stealing, and I'm not one of that nature.
Now I'm rolling an insight check.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I rolled a 19 again. 23.
Seems completely telling the truth in this regard.
Damn it. Okay, well, is there anyone else like you, pasty white, doesn't go outside much in this town?
Not that I know of. Other than, well, you know, vampirism. It's very rare for us to have children, but, there are a few cases. Listen, I'd prefer if you kept this on the down low. I have a very good reputation in this town. I'd like it to stay that way.
Right.
Would you
Alright,
say
then.
we got there about now?
Yeah, you've entered now.
Sheriff, be vampire?
We've resolved this.
Just simple question.
Well, you seem trustworthy. Alright? Can't be spouting this out. Alright? I have a
Understand.
reputation to uphold, and most people don't take too kindly to my account.
So, you admit vampire.
Yes, but I did not do what Folus has informed me happened.
Well, other culprit. Will help.
Of course, I'll help any way I can.
Any else in town be like you?
Well, as I informed Folus here, only other one like me would be my daughter, and I feel I taught her well enough not to do things like that. Listen,
So-
way we keep our hunger down is through that shit we drink in tavern, eating raw meat, and cook.
Alright.
So, must be outside vampire. From neighboring town or forest or plain.
Or people passing through. You know, there's a lot of people.
Here's my query, though. If this was a normal vampire, why isn't it going for people?
That's my question exactly.
Maybe horse blood tastes better?
No, it doesn't.
Not no. No eat horse.
Trust me, I've been around the block for a long time. You know, a very long time. But I've tried many, many different things.
Maybe a horse was nearest thing you could get to.
Most certainly wasn't. There's plenty of people in this town. There's
How
plenty of
not know he hasn't gotten somebody?
Well, there's a lot of people in this town, as I said, so it is a possibility. I'll start looking around.
Do have, not no word. Tunnels, under earth.
Not that I know of. Besides, it would destabilize most of this, here town. Don't want to collapse.
Not know where to begin.
I don't know where to start either.
Well, one thing you should know about vampires. Sunlight is not a friend. As you can see, that's why I dress in such a quirky manner. So, maybe that'll help you in your troubles.
Okay.
Any other weakness?
Well, they don't like that which is holy. Of course, it doesn't stop me and my daughter from going to church on Sundays.
Any metals not like?
Nope.
Alright, well, we'll start looking.
Alright. I'm gonna go check on local homes then. I was hoping that was the end of today's business.
Quick question. Which work better, bullet or blade?
Hell, depends on what you're doing. Bullet, you only got one. You know, very limited supply. Once you use it, you're done. However, it does do a whopping amount. Real damage.
But to you, to your kind.
Huh. Either works just as well. Depends on how you use it.
Not meaning to offend, but which way best kill?
Me personally, I would shoot me before I saw me coming.
Where?
Anywhere, man. Anywhere you please. Anywhere you think would kill a normal person. Us vampires, we're not much different from normal people, other than our strange diet, or disinterest in the light, and of course, you know, our extended lifespans. But
Not know much about vampire. Only know what around my land.
you're a strange fella, Mr. Atakte.
Sheriff, I gotta ask you something. Can I speak with those wheelers in prison?
Yeah, sure thing.
Do they die?
Just like any other.
Will they die?
Absolutely. Hit 'em hard enough, you'll get 'em.
What sentence?
Pardon?
What sentence?
Can one of you translate, please?
They commit crime, yes.
Ah, well, that hasn't been determined yet. These are very recent inmates. However, I'm thinking I'm probably going to turn them into the marshals and let them determine the sentence. I tend to take my prisoners alive. So,
Alright, good day. We'll start our look.
Chance.
you sort of... The sheriff pats Chance on the shoulder. Yeah, right this way. Careful, though.
May I join?
Very well. He brings you to a jail cell. There's three members sitting in there. There's a big, bulky-looking tabaxi. There's that kid from earlier. There's a gnomish man who sort of like, as he sees you coming, he sort of like dashes away from the jail cell and shoves something under his mattress.
What gnome
Can we-
have?
Wait, can we roll to see if we see what it is, or? if we
Yeah,
notice that?
go ahead and roll.
I got a,
Well, you gave me.
got a 12 in perception.
Well, you gave me that information that he shoved something under the bed, so I'm just gonna ask him, like, what gnome have?
None of your business.
My business entirely. What have?
You know what benefits me from telling you?
No kill.
You have no authority here. You don't look no lawman.
I no citizen. I outsider. I do what I please.
And Dowry sort of like grabs your shoulder, or sets a hand on your shoulder and grips tightly. No, you don't.
I do.
Well, son, if you're gonna have to do that, we're gonna have a heap of trouble.
I kind of pat him to like tell him like I'm like just a gesture like not gonna do anything. It's just a technique.
He takes his hand off your shoulder. He sort of sits back. He's like, well, have fun, folks. He sort of walks back to his desk.
What gnome have?
Look, you're the one in the cell, not us. You might as well just tell us.
Pulls out a tiny little piece of metal. It was twisted a bit. Seems like he was trying to pick the lock.
What purpose?
Get out of here, of course. You think I'm just gonna let them keep me here?
Yes.
No.
Consequence of action.
What are you wheelers up to?
Why do you care? You look like no lawman yourself.
I dispense the law as I please.
Sure you do. I ain't telling you nothing. Kid from earlier. Yeah, he ain't telling you nothing.
Shut up, twerp. Not talking to you yet.
The tabaxi sort of slams into the cage. Boom! And sort of gives a slight growl.
You're just another cat like me. I ain't scared of you.
You should be.
I look over at Chance, seen far worse.
Now, you three boys better listen. Who is in charge?
Now, currently, that would be Tor dishing out the orders. He ain't nothing, though. He ain't nothing in comparison to what we could do to you. Oh, no.
That
Hey.
why you in cage?
Yeah, shut up, you! If I had a weapon, if I was out of this
But
cage,
you don't.
he's just like, he's starting to like get so enraged, he's just like shaking with anger. Yeah, I'm not talking to you no more. Tor's not even the one fool in charge.
Who is?
None of your business!
I think it is my business. Who is it?
Roll intimidation.
Good roll.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a 13.
Yeah. No, it ain't.
Know what scalp?
What's that got to do with anything?
Tell, answer, or scalp come off.
Roll intimidation.
Wait. Can I also follow with his, like, saying something along the lines of
I listen to him.
Sure, roll with advantage. Or you can,
both roll to see who gets the highest?
well, either way, 2 die will be rolled.
Okay. Oh, I got a 17. What'd you get?
I got. Fuck! I moved it. What, did you guys see it?
I think it was a 10.
All right. All right. So I think that's a 13 or 14. 13.
Alright, look. I'll tell you. And as he says this, the tabaxi grabs him by the neck, slams him into the ground, and his fucking head pops off.
Oh my god!
No, you don't.
I guess we ask you instead then.
Sorry, but I know where my loyalties lie.
Do you know where your head will lie?
Certainly not the same place his was.
I would not bet.
Cracks his neck. And then he goes slowly, approaching the cage. Places a single hand on the bar. Well, I do. He just backs away. Don't you get any ideas, kid? He says to the other kid who is there. And he's the kid's in shock at this, seeing this.
All right.
I
I
know
just.
what you Wheelers are capable of. I'm not afraid of you.
He sort of just looks at you, gives us like, and then just looks away. He sits on the bed.
Cat.
He's not paying. He's not looking at all.
He's talking to you.
He isn't looking.
Just curious. What you do?
Well, I'm the heavyweight. What do you think I do? What do you?
What heavyweight?
It's my job to get people to cooperate.
Cooperate.
Man, this bird really is retarded.
He's not the one behind bars.
We'll see how long that lasts. He just ceases talking.
Alright. Well, 2 are out. Let's get the kid.
Human.
And the human's just like, he refuses to, like, his eyes dart to you, and then they just dart back.
What name?
They just dart to you again, dart back.
What's your name?
He sort of darts his eyes away towards the wall, and just sort of turns his head.
How old?
He refuses to look. He's shaking right now.
You try with them. I go tell sheriff that cat murder comrade.
Alright.
Alright, I go tell the sheriff to put him down for murder.
Alright.
At the very least.
I pull out my revolver. I slightly aim it at the large cat fellow. And I say that I'd be happy to put you down.
He just sort of snickers. He's not even looking at you. Just gives a snicker. The sheriff comes around the corner. Well, that's a fine miss. Either way, I do get to turn in the body. Comes up same either way in terms of pay. In any case, sort of does ruin my reputation. But, whatever. It's fine.
We simply ask no question. Cat. Kill him.
Yeah, well, these wheelers don't really give much in terms of info. Trying to keep the rest of the gang safe, see?
Why call Wheeler, not Trainer?
Well, it's not just trains per se, but wagon trains. Anything with wheels. Oftentimes they'll ride in on these big wheels themselves. No wagon attached or nothing. Or at least that's what they say.
I've seen it. It's true. Some of these men have no hearts.
Cat sort of looks at you. Sort of raises an eyebrow and just continues to stare.
Not meet many human gang.
These men are no normal gang. They're the cruelest son of a bitches in all the West.
What son of bitch?
It's an insult. A really awful person.
Deserve death.
A lot of them do. Some of them, like that boy over there, don't know what he got himself into.
Why not kill Cat and ask boy questions?
Well, that's what I'm planning. Either way, if this boy don't cooperate, the cat's
Listen up.
him, or I.
This is within my jurisdiction. You're not killing him here. I've already lost one prisoner today. Enough said.
Alright. You got it, officer.
Simple question.
If you can get it out of him, go ahead. Just do not lose one of them to that stupid cat again.
How not to lose boy or get him talk with Cat in the same cell?
Very well. He whips out his pistol real quick, does a spin, and shoots the cat in the leg. Bang! Cat doubles over in pain.
Man, I was gonna do that.
Just gotta keep him from moving. He opens up the cell. Come on, boy. Grabs him. And the boy he still can't move either. It just seems like the sheriff's main way of neutralizing targets is just to shoot him in the leg so they can't walk. And then just dragging him out. Closes the cell behind him, locks the door. And the cat just sort of slams his whole weight into the cell door as it closes. Bad kitty. Sheriff sits the kid down in the seat. He handcuffs him to the chair. Tell these men what you want. What they want to know now.
Boy, you better listen. I make myself clear. You tell us what we want to know, or you ain't leaving this building alive. Now, who's in charge? Where can I find him?
Well, in the local area here. And he's saying this sort of in a whisper so that way the other guy doesn't hear it. It's Tor. He's the boss here. Of course, the big boss. William, he's not gonna sit. He's further east.
Where's Tor?
I don't know. Haven't seen him in weeks. Haven't seen him since the last train ride.
When was it?
Like I said, weeks. About 2.5. Listen, Sheriff, I know, I understand that I committed crime, but, could you put me in a different cell than that cat? If he finds out, I'll end up just like, the old fella over there. Sheriff sort of nods. Wasn't planning on killing you anyways.
What boy name?
Jackson.
Remember, Jackson, always second chances.
I like the sound of that.
Right. Thank you very much. Are we done now? He says.
I done.
Real quick. So you said Williams out east?
Yes. Don't know how far. Mostly northeast. That's where he tends to run.
Torn is missing.
Tor's been missing for a while. We believe he actually might have been scrapped.
Anyone else I should know about?
Don't think so. There's the rest of the gang, of course, but I don't think you have to worry about them. Most of them got caught on the last wagon train. Or what's left. Two of us.
Alright. Well, that's all I need.
Meet up with the rest of group now.
Yeah. Smart idea. Alright, boy.
While this is happening, like you've been hearing the big tabaxi in the back just slamming against the wall and shit, just throwing a massive tantrum basically.
Sheriff, let me know if you ever need another bullet, because I got you.
Thank you kindly.
Not have any bullets. Only arrows.
Much appreciated, friend. The offer. He sort of uncuffs the boy and brings him back to the different cell. Alright, so what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna check on my mount real quick.
Alright. Your mount's waiting patiently outside.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of just digging through the dirt.
Yeah. I forgot. Did I have any, like, toys for it to play with or anything?
No.
Alright. I give it, like, another piece of the cow to nibble on.
It sort of bats at it a bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Like the intestines or something.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, did we all meet up?
But, like, after doing that,
I don't know. Did you guys meet up? What are you guys doing in the meantime, by the
Yeah,
way?
there we go. I was just gonna start looking around for people heavily clothed,
Alright.
mostly covering their heads.
Alright. Go ahead and roll for perception.
18.
Alright. You spot one fellow who's heavily clothed. Doesn't look like any apparel you've really seen before. Seems to be like a cloth wrapped around his head. And more of cloakish sort of garb, long, straining things.
I'm gonna walk up to him and blatantly ask, "Are you a vampire?"
Gay? And he turns, and it's this man with like a bit of scaly skin, and as he says like "gay,"
I'm gonna
like
follow him.
you can see his tongue's forked in the middle.
One of your people?
Is he?
No, from what you can tell, he's a Yanti,
Oh.
which most Yanti you either they're either in the old world or they're south in the República de Saskia.
I'm just gonna.
No comprende. And he sort of like points to his neck, where like you're doing.
Is there 2 bite marks?
There's nothing there. Okay. Adios. He's. Of course, as he says adios, it's like a
Yeah, like
at
a
the
lift.
end.
And where are we again? We were gonna meet back up with them.
You're like coming out, or you're still in the sheriff's office.
Okay.
Meanwhile, they're doing all this.
Can I roll like something to see if I can possibly make something that would lure out a vampire at night?
Sure. What are you gonna do?
Mainly it's sort of like something smelly that would, entice them to go there.
Okay. What are you thinking?
Something sort of like a combination of chemicals and meat.
All right. Do you have anything to do that with?
I have, alchemist supplies.
All right. Yeah.
Should I roll intelligence for the whole vampire thing?
Roll to sort of get a blood scent on this meat, or like make an artificial blood
Okay.
smell using the alchemical stuff. Do you have proficiency with it?
I do.
Okay.
10. Oh, that sucks actually. 12.
Good enough, I'm afraid.
Christ. Okay. Well, the way I see this is, I mean, it's not going for any humanoids. It's only going for cattle. The only other way we could draw it out is having a cattle walk astray alone. So,
Are we all together now?
No, they're still doing this.
Okay,
It's
'cause I-
just you were in the sheriff's office for quite a while.
The only reason I asked is because he rolled to like make the chemical, and then you said that it failed, and then I guess he continued on after that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're basically just exiting the sheriff's office. And
Okay, so-
he's a little down the road.
All right, so was he like rolling to figure out if he could make it, and then he just like went, I don't think I can.
No, he tried to make it and he just failed.
Okay.
okay. Can I roll an intelligence check to see what would lure a vampire out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I get advantage on that
Mhm.
since I'm tracking them. Natural 20.
All right.
Yeah, that's when you roll the 20.
Well, blood would definitely lure them out in this regard. Or just pretending to be injured. They tend to go to for weaker prey, ones that seem to be quieter.
Question, don't you cut yourself?
Okay. I can try something tonight. If we stay here. The rest of you can... I'll see if I can go out of town a little bit. And I'll be...
Everyone roll perception real quick.
Oh, God.
Bless you.
Hey, you can go.
16.
Ooh.
15.
Are you rolling perception?
Yeah.
I got a 22.
All right. You got so we got a 15, a 16,
14.
14,
12.
12.
22.
All right. So, Chance, catch out of the corner of your eye. You see Dari walking out from the stables, sort of looking rather. Or Elizabeth, not Dari. I mean, technically she's Elizabeth Dari.
She's Dari, yeah.
You spot Elizabeth walking, sort of looking like she's just seen something horrific. She has a handkerchief over her mouth, and she sort of walks past the church and heads into the graveyard.
I'm the only one that sees her?
You're the only one who spotted her, yeah.
Hold on, everyone. I'll be right back. And I walk up to her.
Where go?
I haven't met that fine young lady over there who I presume is the sheriff's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Neither me. Come with.
Sure, I don't mind.
So you two walk into the graveyard. Roll perception.
Ooh, that's a 12.
That is a 20 on that.
Alright. You notice that she sort of disappeared around the back of this tree. And she seems to be hunching sort of next to the tree, crying.
Chance, I point her out.
I walk up and I greet her with a, "How do you do, ma'am? Is everything alright?"
Sorry, I just like to visit my mother. Daily. It's always hard.
I kneel down next to her. It's always pretty tough to lose a loved one.
They didn't even give her a proper grave. You see, there's just a small, like, stone at the base of this tree. You see the letters JD carved into it.
My people know Barry. We burn bodies.
She just starts bursting into tears.
Well, hey now, it's alright, it's alright. I'm sure your mother was a lovely lady. She deserved way better than whatever the hell she got.
Oh, she was. She was. Then it's also the whole thing. The horse and, you know, it's just, it's been hard lately dealing with everything.
Well, don't worry. Name's Second Chance. If you ever need a shoulder to cry on, you got me.
Very kind.
That's what I do, ma'am.
I'm too low for you to cry on.
She's like, okay. And she just sort of...
Don't worry about him, ma'am. He's the comic relief.
What comic?
She just sort of goes back to mourning her mother while you guys are just basically talking this out.
It's kind of hard to explain. Basically, it's you're kind of.
Excuse me, could I have some privacy, please?
Sorry, ma'am. Of course. I just wanted to ask before. The real reason why I came over was. Would you happen to know any information on the Wheelers?
Only that my father's been hunting after a couple of them. He's caught a couple, from what I understand.
Not few. 3.
Sorry about him. He's kind of new to these parts.
You'll excuse me. She sort of stands up and opens up her parasol again, puts it over her, and she wipes her tears from her face. just sort of walks out of the graveyard.
I'm not new to this area. You new to this area.
Well, if you really knew me, you know I'm not new.
Newer than me.
Alright, I'll take your word on that one.
I trust you.
By this point in
I trust
time,
you
it's
too.
about 3 o'clock-ish. So it's reaching the afternoon.
Where I come from?
I go way back. For being only in my mid to late 20s, I've been all over the place.
Anything you guys want to do in the meantime? By the way,
I mean,
it was just basically
I have my
Topte
plan.
and Chance walked off.
We're talking.
I mean, we're
Well-
building lore. We're building lore. Oh, okay. So I'll inform them of my plan. So later tonight, I'm gonna purposely injure myself. Pretend I'm injured. Try to walk into town a bit a ways out, and see if anything happens.
Sounds like a plan to me.
And you guys can sit somewhere silently and watch me. And then with that, I want to go check out on the stables, see what Elizabeth did there. Like,
Well, you didn't. Oh,
'Cause I know she was
the
going
stables.
there.
Okay. So, Folus heads to the stables. Anything you want to pitch in, Estella? You've been sort of quiet this whole time, following along.
I'd like to visit the general store if that's possible.
Okay.
I'll actually come with her.
All right.
Three-way party.
Yes. So, what do you wish to do at the general store?
Just see what they have.
All right. You go in. There's all sorts of stuff, from building materials for homes to
That sounds like a gunshot.
They're fireworks
their fireworks.
Okay.
All right.
for some reason.
Sorry, folks.
My sketchy ass neighborhood!
My PTSD's kicking in.
I'm having my Vietnam flashbacks.
Back in them days.
Back in them.
Gun. I don't know what that was for.
Alright. Anyways. So, there's all sorts of stuff. From tools, whether it be picks, axes, like crowbars, hammers, wrenches, screwdrivers. There's nails, there's food stuff, there's a couple jars of candy, there's blankets, basically almost anything you can think of.
Okay.
It is a general store, after all.
Dun dun dun. Oh, wrong music, sorry.
So I walk up to whoever's running the place at the moment. Hello there. Do you happen to have any herbs?
Herbs. Ooh. What are you looking for specifically?
Well, medical supplies, something of that sort.
Okay. The elvish woman sort of goes, okay, well, I'll ask my husband. And she sort of like runs off, sort of daintily, up the stairs. And you hear a bit of chatter. And, she comes back down. Well, medical supplies, we have, something that seems to, act as a clotint?
I'm sorry?
Clotint, according to my husband. It stops blood flow.
Oh,
So it's mostly used, like, if someone gets stabbed or shot, it makes sure they don't bleed out completely.
how much?
Oh dear. I have to ask him where he put it. Sorry. He's feeling a bit under the weather.
Oh, it's quite alright.
Alright. She daintily runs back up. Then you hear some chatter again. She runs back down, runs into the back room. You hear some like clanging of jars in the back room, and you see her reaching up on her little tippy toes up to the top shelf, grabbing this jar of sort of greenish herbs. Looks like they were freshly picked. It's like, okay, according to my husband, you want to use these while they're still green. We're selling a leaf at 1 silver per piece.
And about that, how do you say it again? The clot? I don't remember.
Clotint, I think is how you pronounce it. Sorry, he knows more about this stuff than I do.
So, how much for that?
Well, as I said, it's 1 silver piece per leaf. You want to use it while it's still green, though, according to him. He says that's very important.
Alright. I'll buy a few.
How many exactly? She says as she starts pulling out a couple of leaves out of the jar. They're rather sizable leaves. They're like yay big.
About 4 per se.
Okay. So she grabs 4 of these like football-sized leaves out and places them on the table. She's like, "That'll be 4 silver, please.
Here you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the business. Can I, anything else you'd be interested in, by any chance?"
Not to get any personal, but you said your husband wasn't feeling well?
No, I'm afraid he had a bit of a fright, and stress doesn't do him too well. In recent times, it's been having quite a bit of that. So he's taking the day off, mental health day.
Oh, well, I hope he feels better. Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, I will leave.
I'm gonna walk up to the register.
All right.
Howdy.
Good afternoon, sir.
Would you happen to have any oil?
What do you say? That I know we have, actually. I take it kerosene will do?
Yes.
Okay. She goes into the back. It's like, well, she brings out this small sort of jar of, or like flask of oil. This is enough to keep a lantern going for about 3 hours. Will that do?
Do you have any more?
Yes. How much are you looking for exactly?
How much per flask?
Well, I would say, how much was it? She was sort of like thumbs around this particular flask she brought out doesn't actually have a label on it, or it's like very worn out if it is. She's like, oh dear. She goes back, grabs looks through a couple more. Apparently it is 5 copper pieces per flask. They're about the size of like your palm.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright. I'll take 5.
All right. So, alrighty then. That'll be 25 copper pieces, please.
I hand her 2 silver and 5 copper.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Enjoy your day.
And do you have any bullets?
Bullets. Yes. We sell those for a gold apiece.
Can I get a couple?
Of course. How many exactly? Are you wanting?
2.
She like reaches down. She grabs like this wood box. And okay, Jay, stop sipping on your coke.
Sorry, I just had to take a sip of my coke.
Yeah, it just sounds really weird, dude.
Back to what you were talking about.
I'll take 2.
She pulls out 2 bullets from the box. Here you go, sir. That'll be 2 gold pieces.
Hand 2 gold to her.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
She closes it back up, puts it underneath.
And I leave.
All right.
All right. So do we all like meet back up with you?
I was going to the stables.
Oh, all right.
All right. So you go back to the stables, Follis. And, you see Gerald sort of grooming a horse in the stables.
Gerald, where's Miss Dowry?
She left a while ago. Oh no, she's probably paying respects to her mother. It's what she normally does on these fine Saturdays.
What did she come here to do, really?
Oh, just pet the horses. I give her the chance to ride. She's a very sweet girl, really.
Did she see your fine horse?
Yeah. Well, she checked on him last, but, she sort of left as soon as she saw this. A bit of a huff.
Alright. Thanks for the information. And I leave to meet back up with the group.
Alright. Alright, you leave. You see Belmont and Estella walking out of the general store. You see Chance and Atakte walking back from the graveyard. So you meet up with them first.
So, why the graveyard?
Oh, well.
Woman, come in.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Who? What woman?
Not no name.
Sheriff's daughter.
Ah, okay. Well, I devised a plan that should work to catch this vampire later tonight. I'm going to purposely injure myself and pretend like I'm coming in to the town, and hopefully he would come out. Since I'm alone, you all would be watching from the town.
Why?
Question. Am I, like, aware and comfortable with him cutting himself? Or has he never done this at this point?
He's never done this up to this point.
Oh boy, you crazy?
I'm not crazy. If it can stop,
Why hurt self? I have meat.
meat won't work as well. They go for hurt and alone victims.
So,
Sound like
what
familiar.
exactly is your plan?
Sound like familiar enemy.
I would be coming in to the town alone at night, looking injured. You all would be watching me from the town. You have your gun. If they do come out, or if they do try to go after me, you can shoot. I imagine the rest of you have some sort of ranged weapon.
Yes.
So you will be in the town, hiding and watching, and then I'll be walking in, seeing if I can draw it out. If nothing happens by the time I get to the town, then
Won't be very alert. Must rest some tonight. No rest last night.
okay. Well, you can rest now. I don't think we have anything to do, really, do we?
Was talking with Chance.
What about?
Well, we talked quite a bit.
Talk about past.
Oh, like your past?
His.
No, his. What about it?
Don't know.
Well,
Ran
it's
into you before we talk.
Well, if you must know, it's mostly just I grew up in a small town and learned how to shoot a gun. Eventually, I made my way more out west, and you know, I saw some unkempt fellas, brands, you know, wheelers. Ran into a few of them. I made it out, but only barely. If you must know.
Good job.
Thank you.
Anyway, I think it's best if we get some rest now, so later tonight we'll be ready.
Understand. We'll get rest. Be ready for tonight. I choose to rest.
Alright, where do you choose to rest?
I take my mount towards the graveyard and we just kind of perch towards the gate.
Alright.
Where's the nearest inn relative to the entrance of the town?
The nearest inn is actually, it's the tavern. It's a tavern and inn.
Ah,
so it's right across the street from the general store. You've been in there before.
Yeah. Would you say I have some sort of sight line from the roof? Or at least from
There's a
top
balcony
floor?
There's a balcony on the second floor. If you get a room with one of on it. That
Would you
side.
say I'm? Would you say from where he's going to be moving, it'd be 240 feet?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Then that
Yeah,
just-
I'll head to the inn.
Okay, I'll go to the inn as well. Let's say it's maybe an hour past night. We'll meet up.
Sound good.
Everyone else? Y'all are pretty quiet.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right.
Do I get a short or long rest?
Well, it's 3 o'clock right now.
We would basically get a long rest.
So, well, how long are you gonna be resting?
Because we would have to be out at night when no one's out. So
Yeah,
Right,
but you
but
said-
the sun sets
Yeah.
at around
6, 7.
6 and 7 because it's fall.
right.
It's not
So,
summer.
It'd be around 7. I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 hours is about I think a short rest.
5 hours. It's a short rest.
Yeah.
So we can sleep until 8.
Okay.
Since it's 3 now.
So 8 is when we're gonna initiate it. Anyway, we could initiate it at 9.
Yeah, it's technically a short rest. Long rest is 8 hours.
All right. So short rest is like from 4 hours to 7 hours.
1 hour.
1 hour.
Anything more than an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we would have to rest 8 hours minimum for the long rest.
Long rest.
Alright.
Yeah.
Quick question: does anyone have to reset anything for a long rest, or no?
No.
I mean, I spent a spell slot, but I think I'll be good without it.
Okay.
And then, do I lose my point of exhaustion?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you rested.
All right.
So we get an inn or a room at the inn, or 2 rooms down there.
Yeah, you go up to the barkeep, ask for a room.
Excuse me, sir.
How can I help you?
Well, the 5 of us would like a room, preferably one with a balcony.
Consider it done. Happy to find us a room up there.
How much will that be?
How long you planning on staying?
Mostly just a few hours.
Few hours? I'll give you a room till morning. How about that?
Perfect.
Alrighty then. Well, I'll expect you to be up and at 'em around 10. Now, do you want the continental breakfast with that as well, or?
What do y'all think?
We could have a breakfast.
I could go for some good eats.
All right. I'll take that breakfast.
Alright. Well, for the breakfast, it's going to cost you an extra silver per person,
That's all right.
and it's going to cost you 2 silver for a room.
2 silver plus 5. I believe that's 7 silver.
Very well.
I'll take
You
this
sharing a room then?
So yeah, you all are sharing one room.
Well, because we only need to nap. We only need to nap for a short while.
Yeah.
Would you prefer 2 rooms at
I
least?
don't mind.
I mean, I'm not there.
Yeah, he's sleeping outside.
Oh,
I'm sleeping towards the graveyard.
I mean, there's
Isn't that 6 silver?
the barkeep informs you that there are in fact just 2 beds in this room.
All right. Well, we'll take 2 rooms and we'll take a breakfast with that.
Very well then. That runs you up to 9. 9 silver, please.
I got
please.
7. Someone want to throw?
I
in
can
extra?
throw in 2.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Wait. I think your math is off. So it's 2 for the continental, and then it's 2 per room.
It's 1 for the continental.
That's 8.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 8. Yeah, because you're not here.
Yeah. Because I'm.
Yeah. So
not
one.
there.
Oh, one
So
piece.
8, not 9.
So 8. 8 silvers. You're right. I forget that you're not staying in there.
Everyone forgets about me.
No, it's just because you're the one person who decides I'm going to sleep outside.
Yeah. It's,
Under the stars.
I like to be in tune.
All right.
Very well. Yeah, I already read.
Just making sure.
Okay. So, you gotta find rest. Till then, the foot traffic seems to die down quite significantly. Still a few people walking in about. Not many though. Maybe like 2 or 3 every now and then.
Okay.
So around 8 p.m. you'd say?
Yeah.
So you're staying here from the balcony, right?
Yep. I'll take the balcony.
And so we all met back up.
Well, no, they're in the rooms
Okay.
up on the hotel. You're
Yeah.
down the front of the.
Alright, well, 3 of you head
I
downstairs.
mean, I
get
awoke
ready
at
for
our
now.
time that we were supposed to set, but I
Yeah.
have no idea where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
One of you go wake up the Birdman.
One of you two can do that. I'll start walking out.
Alright. We'll go ahead and head to the front of the graveyard.
All right.
I'm gonna send you something real quick.
Okay.
I'll start heading towards out of town.
Alright. I will walk out onto the balcony and pull out my rifle.
All right. So where are you headed exactly, Fullus?
So, about 240 feet out, right? So, does that get me to about the entrance, or
The entrance of what? The stables or?
the town in general?
Oh, the entrance of the town. Yeah, just about.
Okay.
Everyone roll perception real quick
Uh-oh.
with disadvantage.
Well, what about us
that's-
with dark vision?
Doesn't matter because it only goes up to 60 feet.
I got a 23 and a nat 20, so I'll take the 20. 23, I should say.
All right.
1 second.
7.
7.
8.
8.
Nice. Oh, hold on.
Thank
Nice.
God our sniper has pure vision.
Remember, you're rolling with disadvantage.
So we roll twice.
Yeah, I rolled twice. Is it? Did you choose the highest
You
one? or
choose the
did you
lowest
Lowest.
with
the lowest?
disadvantage.
Okay, that's 14.
All right.
Also, just send you.
Okay.
Nice.
That's good.
So, the lowest is gonna be a 21.
Okay. Ironically, the one without dark vision seems to notice this, and Cat notice this.
Whilst I'm standing
All
on the balcony, you know.
Yeah.
Notice that Diary and his daughter walking out. However, his hood is down. He's not wearing his hat. He has rather ruffled black hair, or not black, white hair actually.
Oh, albino.
Yeah, he's an albino. I forgot. Yes, I'm a bad DM.
No.
He has ruffled white hair, and Dowry has very long, luscious, black locks of hair, and sort of walking, nice and slow, sort of down the road, away from their house. You two notice this. These
Do
three
we
don't.
know where they're walking to?
Well, they seem to be walking real slow, so about like half of their normal pace, so like 15 feet per turn. Out, sort of towards, center town.
Just like right into the center of the town?
Well, you have to understand, their house is down the road from, or not down the central avenue, but down the side road to the sheriff's office. So they're walking down that side road as we speak.
Alright.
You also notice some few drunkards walking around right near the entrance of the tavern, making a ruckus, as is the norm for these kinds of things. There's a couple of people in the back alley, sort of talking real quiet as well. So, what do you want to do?
I mean, I'm all set, so.
I'm gonna
asking.
wake them up.
Alright. So you leave the entrance, sort of walking past the drunken people. Right? And
Oh my god, I heard that.
Equals retards, yes. Anyways. And you're walking over. When you get within like 60 feet, you notice. Well, actually, as soon as you walk out, you notice that one, Atakte's mount is sort of hitched up to the post outside the tavern. And two, you notice that Atakte isn't laying out in front of the graveyard where you left him. What do you want to do?
Do I see him by any chance?
No.
Okay. I look in the sky. Do I see any birds?
Roll perception.
Oh, you got this one. 16.
Oh.
Okay. You don't notice any birds in the sky per se, but as you're looking upward, you do notice a figure on the roof.
On the roof of what building?
The tavern.
So, like, right above me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do I recognize this figure?
From a distance, no.
Can I come closer?
Sure. I mean, how close do you want to get?
Anyone want to yell up?
Close enough
Someone
to
on the
see
roof?
what it is, who it is.
Okay, so you get pretty darn close, and this figure's draped in sort of a cloak. You can see they have some sort of bow at the ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna die.
What are they aiming at?
doing this.
They don't seem to be aiming at anything in particular. They just seem to be looking around because their head's turning. They just sort of. The bow's not drawn, but it's at the ready. You know, he has his
Okay.
finger on.
Is there any easy way up onto the roof?
Wait, I think I know where this is.
It's a real mystery.
From what you can see, no.
Okay. What skill would it be to climb?
Athletics.
Okay.
Climbing is athletics, not acrobatics.
No, acrobatics is more of like floop-de-doops.
That's true.
Yeah.
Floop-de-doops.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna try and climb up the tavern.
Come on, this is the thing.
Tavern? All right.
He got a nat 20.
You like bound from the side of the tavern to the other side of the building, just.
American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, right over here. You get onto the roof, and it's a Atakte.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
And you notice that the Dragonborn like had jumped up on the roof.
Very skilled. Good job.
Do I hear this by any chance?
Yeah, you hear this.
So I'm like,
Hello there.
Hello, chance.
See anything from up there?
Just you. And our friend, the good businessman.
Thank you.
alright, well.
So, is Fola still coming into town?
I'm walking out.
Yeah, he's walking out, sort of
Okay.
to the entrance of town.
Just cut yourself already, you emo.
Okay, well I gotta do it out of town.
It takes time. I gotta get into character. Help me! I'm bleeding! My blood is so succulent! I really hope no vampires bite me!
Where is Estella?
Where are you, Estella?
Oh, I guess we haven't said that.
Estella!
Where are you?
Oh, I was at the bottom of the tavern, right? Because we had just left.
All four of us are just...
Yeah, you're just lined up along the tavern.
I like to say I'd just like to give Estella my cloak, my mask.
You just let it all hang out.
My crossbow,
You did this prior, before you walked over?
dagger, just keeping the greatsword,
So now we're backtracking. Okay.
and my armor.
That's fine.
That's fine. We're backtracking, but that's fine.
A little bit of backtrack.
Well, these two were This guy was dueling it out with their Kakra, so.
Well, he wasn't dueling it out.
Also, he's a
Not yet.
Kenku. Let's make this clear.
Oh,
He's
he's
a
a
Kenku.
Kenku with wings. Sorry.
Goodness.
All right.
And has the ability to fly.
All right.
As a
So I'm walking out.
Mount.
Do I get out of town?
Yeah, you make it out of town.
He's still in my vision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I climb down the building?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Or not acrobatics.
No,
Um,
that would be acrobatics.
well, it depends how you're planning on getting down.
Is
Are
he
you just-
jumping down?
Are you
or is
jumping
he-
down, or are you
It's
like?
20 feet, right?
Huh?
It's 20 feet. 'Cause it's 2 stories.
Yeah.
I'll try and climb down with athletics.
That's what you're good at.
Okay, so that's athletics then.
13.
13. Yeah, you make it down fine.
All right. I'm gonna go by. So, the tavern's right here. What's in between the tavern and the outside edge of the town?
Sorry.
Well, there's that back alley where that actually leads past the Dowry's residence and a couple houses, and then leads up to Sue's farm.
Okay. So wait, I wanna try and hide somewhere. Like not.
There's
outside
also the
town.
back. There's also this small little alley that sort of leads to the blacksmith's work shed, as well.
Okay, I'm gonna go to that alleyway and go to like the entrance and just wait there.
Can I?
Which one?
With the blacksmith,
Okay.
keeping a look on.
You head over there. There's 2 figures. They look over at you. They sort of like lean towards you, and they put their hands on their hips, like they're
wait.
ready to draw a
What
weapon.
were
or
they
Do I
something.
see him?
They're just cloaked figures.
Okay.
Do I see him by any chance?
Yeah, you guys can see this clearly.
Can I jump down using acrobatics to get down there quicker from the 2nd floor?
Go ahead.
6 plus 7, so that's 13.
So we noticed that they're like going to draw their guns at him.
Draw their weapons. You don't see what the
Oh, I
weapons
see.
are yet.
All right. Well, I'm just saying like they're. So
Yeah,
they're
they seem to be drawing weapons on him.
They seem.
Can
to
I
be.
leave before they do so?
All right. So you back up away from them, and immediately their hands retreat, and they go back to discussing shit.
Bad business.
Bad
A new meme has sprouted.
Yes. Alright, I guess I'll go to the other alleyway now.
Stella.
I'll go to the other alleyway and wait there and watch unfold this.
All right. As you head over there,
Another 2
you
pairs.
see the sheriff and his daughter walking about slowly out the alleyway.
Are they talking at all?
They seem to be talking, but in a hushed voice.
Mhm.
You can roll perception if you want to try and listen in on what they're saying.
I'll try.
Not you. You're not within distance.
Oh,
of
I'm
it.
not?
No, you're on the roof.
You have the inspiration. You got this.
Oh yeah, inspiration time.
Inspiration time. Inspiration time.
I'm gonna roll another 2.
Oh, is that you were
This
talking
is your moment. Now is your time.
Come on. Come
oh,
on.
I thought you were talking to me just 'cause-
Yes.
15.
15. Alright. You can hear him sort of say, I swear, I know I taught you well enough. It's like, I know, Father. I know. You know, I really miss your mother greatly. And these are sort of the few things that you hear.
Oh.
And as they approach, they see you, and they sort of stop talking, and Elizabeth says, "Hello, Lord Belmont."
Hello. Howdy.
Wonderful,
Yo, what's up?
wonderful evening we're having, isn't it?
It is. Like, kind of walk past him.
Mm-hmm. And they walk past you, and the sheriff sort of gives you a nod, continues on his way, and as he continues, he sees the 2 fellows in the back alley. What you 2 getting up to? And they sort of just dash into there on the back alley and just run.
Can I?
Lord Belmont does it.
Can I then proceed to hide in that alleyway?
I mean, you're on the 2nd floor, right?
No, I just
or
jumped down.
you jump down, yeah. Okay, so
If I'm in that alleyway, do I still have a clear view of him?
yeah,
Okay, I'd like
Just
to.
barely. It depends on how deep you go into the alleyway.
Not too deep. I want to
Yeah,
kind of
so
be
we're
on the
both
edge.
gonna be like at the edge of the alleyways.
All right.
And I'd like to roll for stealth to see if I'm visible by anyone hiding in the alley.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a 25.
All right.
So I'm like hidden.
You disappear.
Well, you move across there,
Visibility.
and they like Elizabeth and the sheriff clearly see you run across, but immediately afterwards, you seem to hide yourself well enough so they're confused as to like where you went.
Nice.
Cats.
Freaking cats.
Freaking cats, am I right?
Alright, I guess it's game time. I pull out my greatsword.
Cut my arm off.
Hey,
No, I just drag it across.
All right.
And then that,
For damage.
yeah. I'm not gonna activate my right yet. That's
Can he
2d6.
forgo his strength bonus?
What do you mean?
Like, because he's trying to hurt himself, but he's not like. He's just.
Yeah, you can forgo the strength bonus.
A question: if he were to empower a weapon of some kind, would that empoweredness stay with the weapon? So like anyone else can use it, or no?
No,
Is
just-
it just
no,
it's just
it's just
okay.
me.
All right. Just wanted to clarify.
Son of a bitch.
Ooh, that's a little bit of 8 damage.
Oof.
Oof, my bones.
Oof. Fuck. Ooh, you hit an artery.
Alright. As soon as you do this,
Side
Atakte's mouth sort of, or mount just sort of like stands up at attention.
Watch it be the mount that's doing all this.
I was just about to say that.
Alright, I got my arm, it's blood, blood everywhere. Ah!
Roll for performance.
Roll for performance.
You just have to hurt yourself.
Blow my
actually.
dice. Blow my dice.
I've got the power of anime on my side.
Power of God and anime on my side.
Can I wager for advantage since I cut my arm, actually?
Go ahead.
I took 8
It's gonna be a
damage.
nat 20, watch. Ooh. Fuck.
Ah, that's not bad.
That's
17.
Okay. So you put on a convincing performance, and immediately the sheriff and Elizabeth like dart their eyes over, and Elizabeth starts approaching, and the sheriff puts his hand on her shoulder and pulls her slightly back. It's like, no. That's all you hear. And
Wait, is she in range? Is she close enough to where he can hear them?
no, close enough to where Belmont can hear him,
And I.
and you can hear
Okay,
him.
thank you. Just wanted to make that clear.
Okay, I start stumbling into town.
All right.
Like,
You're stumbling into town, making a ruckus.
Dear God, someone help me!
Hey, you're not him.
You do it then. It's your
I-
character.
ah!
And some of the lights turn on. The drunkards are sort of like looking at you in their dazed, drunken haze. A light goes on from the general store,
Yeah, I'm waking everyone up.
and the wife comes out, and she's like, "Oh dear, what happened?" She's sort of confused because she's your arm's bleeding.
I'm doing a performance. This is fine. I'll fix it later. I'm good at this. I'm gonna go inside.
Roll persuasion.
Oh, this is the thing I'm bad at. 4.
Oh no, dear. Trust me. Okay, you can pay me back for these later. And she runs back into the store, and you hear clanging in the back. She comes running out with this like.
I was too convincing.
She comes running out with a lead, and she like starts wrapping, or trying to like wrap your wound. Is there anything you want to do in response?
Try to push her away.
Yeah, well, I have 18 strength. This is possible.
Roll for strength.
Fucking dick, sir!
Is this athletics or is it just?
It's just.
No, I'm just trying to pull her arm.
It's just a strength.
Oh my god! 23.
Break her wrist.
You knock her down in the process of pushing her away.
I'm sorry. Look, have that back. Seriously, I don't need this.
Hey guys.
She's like, her eyes are sort of rolling up, and she just sort of like runs back into the house and like bolts the door. Or
Sorry. And I go quiet. I'm like,
Oh no.
I
and
instead
a
of
couple
yelling,
of the people, like some of the houses that people start coming out, and they're sort of looking at what's going on, and they're sort of mumbling amongst themselves and stuff. And
I'm looking around if anyone's like moving towards me.
roll perception.
Can we also look for
Everyone roll perception.
I think you did too well of a performance.
I did.
Everyone's waking up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
15.
I'll take a
Fucking
You're not
trash.
rolling. Get out of here. I'll take a 19.
19.
I got 10.
8?
15.
14.
Alright, so Chance does notice that there's a man running away from the scene.
I want to chase after him.
Alright. Alright, so you chase after him. Keep him in your line of sight. You notice he runs up to this building, has a cross on it. And he starts banging on the door.
Oh fuck.
We need a doctor!
Okay. I'm gonna
I
pull
grab
it.
him. I grab him by the shoulder and I say, "It's fine. It's just a performance." I need to roll
You lose your
persuasion.
accent too?
Oh, persuasion.
It's fine. It's just a performance.
This is just this is a thing that just happens every month.
Nobody believes
No
it.
one's convinced.
If it is, it's one hell of a performance. Doctor! Lights turn on. This Vidalkin comes out. He's like, yes? You called upon me?
Nathan, can I roll a medicine check to see if I can just patch this up with like cloth?
Go ahead.
Please.
You're just struggling here. You're struggling here. You just can't seem to get it.
9.
You just 9.
Wait. We have a cleric.
No, she's
Should I like fake bandage it? Should I roll for that?
not. I need a doctor. S.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything, but
This Vidalkin man comes running out.
Alright, okay. I interrupt and run over. And I cut in front of the Vidalkin man. Excuse me, sir, everything's fine here. You can return. We have everything under control.
I'm a doctor. I can help with this.
I also have medical knowledge, sir. Please, I know what's I understand what's happening. Thank you, though.
wait, would she have to roll for persuasion?
Yeah, roll for persuasion. Alright. There's a bit of something. Not good.
Please.
15.
Oh my god, thank you. Thank you. Someone finally doesn't give a shit.
Roll perception.
There are too many nice people. She got a 15
Okay.
total.
He's like, alright. Well, if you have it handled, I'm gonna trust in you. And he sort of walks back. Alright, and he says, alright people, no need to worry. This fine lady is going to take care of it. Apparently she is medically trained.
I just stick my arm out.
And so the people sort of go back into their houses, and the Vidalkin man...
Someone's gotta here's your free candy.
Yeah, do you have lollipops?
Sturgis.
Oh, we could have gone to the candy. We could have gone. You could have gotten
He's
candy at
pretty,
the.
Large.
Oh, I
at the-
should have.
That would have
That
been
are
funny.
approaching. Pretty damn large. Group of
It's like,
15.
we're not backing out of the plan, right? We're just going with this.
Do I see where everybody is?
Like, you want that bandage?
Huh?
I'm
Do I
confused
see
now.
where everybody is?
Yeah, they're out like
Is that
near the
just
middle.
out?
Not fluttering my cloak or anything. I fly over
You're
a
like,
second.
I need a
or
straight
fly
answer.
over
He
to
goes.
Chance.
Alright, Chance, you notice that Atakte is flying like straight at you.
Alright, I would
And
like
it seems like he's flying using like his cloak, like he's just floating down, just
Like Batman.
yeah, like Batman. Except he's bird, so he's Birdman.
Phoenix man.
Phoenix person.
more flesh birds head this way.
More flesh birds?
Large group, very large. Son of a bitch. From south.
Alright, and I group up with everyone.
Alright, fellas. We got more birds
Seriously.
on our hands.
Are you fine? I used I bought the things from the. I'll take a herb out and use it on you. There you go.
All right, roll a medicine check with advantage.
So you rolled 12.
Yeah, I was just checking that. That's all.
Okay,
That's good.
That's my medicine.
Shut up.
That's a 19.
All right, you're set. In fact,
Wait, what did you roll? 13?
13 plus 6.
go ahead and roll a d8.
Nice.
A D8?
Yeah,
Bonkers.
dude, these herbs are crazy, dude.
I just shoved a dwarf lady down and
Dude,
I got my health back. Oh my god. Awesome.
Pretty
Radical.
bonkers. Yeah.
Bonkers.
And I mean, the leaves place in. How much did you heal from that?
By the way, I can't.
How much did you heal from the D8?
Change that.
How
8.
much?
8.
Oh, she rolled an 8.
Oh, I rolled 8.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
gonna be
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it seems like she places it on, and bleeding immediately stops. It starts to scab over, and I mean, basically, scab's gone within a couple of minutes.
So, did anyone see anything?
Wait, question. He's got scabs already. Does it heal those as well?
No, just
those are scars.
just-
those are scars. Those-
Oh, sorry. I thought you said scars.
No, it's a scab.
Okay.
However, it does leave the scar in place. Of
Awesome.
when-
After telling Chance, I would
This
just
is
fly
my
over to
favorite
my
scar
mouth.
so far.
All right.
I cut myself, don't even get my magic weapon, and I fuck up our plan.
Atakte
It's as if it
flies over to his mount, or like, yeah, just like dashes over to his mount, hops on it, unties it from the post, and
I head towards him.
he starts heading towards the train station.
Alright,
We don't
I'm gonna
have a
follow.
mount.
All right.
Alright, well,
We gotta get ready for these birds.
All right.
Did anyone else see anything else while I was out there?
We can talk about it later.
Do you want your stuff back?
Sure, I guess.
So I'll give you your stuff back.
I think the transactions are as simple as you get your stuff back.
Everyone,
I was
everyone,
gonna
roll
say.
perception real quick. Not you, Seth. You go.
You mother...
I got a 2. Fuck, I got an 8.
Yeah, 15.
15,
13.
13,
Oh, 10.
10,
8.
and 8. Okay.
Yeah, the low number. You got this, Belmont.
All right. So, Belmont and Polis notice they hear a sort of like crash from what sounded like the sheriff's office.
Look, you don't go deal those birds. I'm gonna deal with whatever that is.
Alright, sounds good.
All right.
Over to the sheriff's office.
Okay.
And I take my great sword out and I kind of just push open the door.
All right.
Is it locked?
Yeah, it's locked.
Oh, motherfucker. Okay.
Wait, can I join him? Oh, wait, do I have lockpicks? I don't. I was gonna ask if I could pick the lock.
Can I use athletics to break the door handle?
Go for it.
Sure, you don't want me to just pick it?
Are you able to pick it?
I mean, I have sleight of hand.
You can use improvised tools
Yeah.
with disadvantage, right?
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you do that first.
Well, with disadvantage
13. So
on your
that's
sleight
a-
of hand.
So it's an unnatural 20, and that's a 12.
Can't seem to pick it.
Damn it!
So I'm following him to the birds, right?
All right. Yeah.
What about Estelle?
Wait, quick question. Why are we trying to get into here?
There was a crash.
Oh, okay, I didn't know, because I rolled a low enough. I didn't.
He didn't know.
Perception.
Only you and Belmont knew.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
So, are you gonna go deal with the birds with those two?
You saw Atakte basically like sprint over, like almost as if he was like floating over to his mount, and he just like hopped on, like basically tore off the rope, and then proceeded to dash off in the direction of the train station.
So I will also go in that direction.
All right.
Alright, so it didn't work. Alright, I want to use athletics to break the door handle.
All right.
That's not that bad. Trust me, because I get like.
I'm just
plus-
saying the sheriff's gonna kick our ass.
Yeah, but this could be something important. What if someone's trying to break out? 17.
17. You break the door handle.
Okay, I push it open.
All right. You push it open.
I roll for athletics. I'm just kidding.
The entire office is like dark. There's no lighting in it at the moment.
Dark vision.
All right. So you,
Yeah, dark vision.
everything seems to be fine, from what you can see. What do you wish to do?
Go in further.
Okay, so you go into where the cells are. You go in, and you see that there's that one kid who from earlier, who's like looking around, cause like he heard the crash too. He's like, I think he's gone.
I pull out my revolver.
All right,
Who?
him. And he sort of gestures to the cell next to him where the big tabaxi.
Well, you didn't see the tabaxi.
There's
Oh, you're right.
there was another fella in here. One that we don't want to mess with.
I'm gonna go look in the cell.
All right. There's a giant hole in the back.
Oh my god, it's like
This guy
Dan.
burst through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
We gotta get him now.
Oh yeah. Okay, there's like 7 different combats going on. Possible combats.
Can we? Is there any way that we can like track his movements?
I mean,
Possibly
I
find out?
can
See if you could figure out which way he went.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Survival for tracking his footsteps.
All right. So go ahead and roll survival.
No, let's just say. I'm just kidding. Let's just move it a little bit.
6.
6. All right. No, you
Can I-
don't see
can I
his
try?
footsteps. Sure. Attempt.
I'll take a 12.
Not good enough.
Damn it.
We lost him.
Wait, how many different ways are there? Is it just open or is it just?
It's out in the open, but I mean, this is a cattle town. They often have livestock shuffling about.
Is there any way we could see him? Rolling perception.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fucking damn.
17.
I got a 10.
It's not good enough.
Fuck.
I can't
Damn it.
find him.
We lost him.
Is the kid still in the cell?
Yeah.
Okay. He has no way of getting out?
No.
Do I notice... Can I roll for perception to see if I notice the metal piece that the gnome had?
Yeah. Well, roll for investigation on
Investigation on that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're searching the cell now.
Okay, that's a 12.
12. You don't seem to be able to find it.
Have you seen the sheriff at all? I mean, he must be out now because there's a lot of stuff going on.
Well, we gotta find him.
Let me go ahead and roll perception for the sheriff. They're gonna be out for a while, right? Because that's like a mile distance from the train station.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, didn't the sheriff and his daughter pass?
We don't know that. I don't know that. I was walking out of town.
Okay.
I know that. But do I know which way that they were heading by any chance or no? Like after he started...
You saw that they were headed in the direction of the train station. Or who, the sheriff or
Yeah, the sheriff.
party? Yeah, the sheriff, like, after that had...
After he was like, no. Like...
Yeah, they had headed away from the main area and stuff. And actually they had sort of... After that, they sort of rushed away,
Okay.
so to speak.
Is there any way that we could find out where they went?
I mean, where were they?
I mean, you weren't paying attention during this big shuffle, so...
I'm gonna try to find the same high heels.
Alright,
And she's a vampire, so advantage.
roll for survival. Or
Okay. And not so okay. 17.
17. You see the high heel tracks.
That has to be her.
Alright, let's go.
leading away.
Wow, we're splitting the party, guys.
They,
The party's been split about 3 times.
it's been split 3 ways now, as well.
That's true.
So, you follow the tracks, and they lead right to the church.
Like just right in front of the door.
Yeah, that's where they seem to lead, because the church sort of goes up a couple steps as well.
Alright.
Okay.
It must be in there. Let's go. Is the door unlocked?
Yeah, it's unlocked.
Alright, let's head in.
Alright, you head in. Seems to be the average church, for the most part. Anything you want to do? You don't see them in there.
Are there any other
It's like
corridors?
a one room sort of setup they got there.
But we know that they went this way.
According to the tracks, yeah.
Can we roll perception? See if we can find them in the room.
Yeah.
17 again. Wait.
Where are you trying to look in the room? This is a rather large room.
Is there any sort of area that's covered by like a piece of something, or like a door that goes anywhere else?
No, not that.
Is it just an empty room?
Seems to be just an empty room.
No broken windows, nothing.
Damn. Alright, well, let's head back with everyone else. We'll find him in the morning.
Chef!
And suddenly, from the ceiling, just
See, I had a feeling.
Hold on, we had like no other option.
yes, what is it?
What in the hell are you doing here?
Look, I had my daughter's going through some stuff. See, it's when a vampire is actually born, they go through the similar aging process that normal humans go through. And, well, it's, she's going through that time in her life where, certain changes are happening. And, let's just say the thirst gets a little hard to manage. You don't have to worry about the horse thing anymore, okay? I'm dealing with that.
Sheriff, we've got a bigger situation on our hands. A large tabaxi in the cell, busted through the wall.
That and our rest of our party, we're going out towards the train station for there's a set of birds coming as well.
We've got multiple situations going on. And we can't track where this tabaxi went.
God damn. Alright.
The boy's still in his cell, but we can't find him.
He looks up. Elizabeth, get back home, honey. And she sort of jumps down from the rafters and lands sort of elegantly. She's like, very well, father. And she sort of like lifts up her skirt so that way she can sort of run out the door. She runs down the street and away. Meanwhile, the sheriff's like, well, we're gonna need a ride. Alright, back to my place. And he heads, you all sprint back to his place. He gets on his horse. He has another horse in the back, actually. It's like, hop on. So, which one of you is riding with him, or how are you gonna go with the setup?
I'll ride alone, I guess.
You'll ride alone. Chance hops on the back with the sheriff.
Fuck, I want to ride alone.
Alright,
Well, which one's getting on? Which one's getting on which horse?
Okay, I'll let him have the solo horse.
I'm also 6'2".
I'm
I'm a big dude. You really want me to ride, shotgun on a horse?
you don't just have the horse. I don't care.
Look, we don't have time. And so, literally, Dowry just lifts you up, Bolus, like, onto the horse with one hand, just wham!
I could have just picked myself up.
Wow, he just pulls you right on up.
Tiny half elf, don't matter.
I have 18 strength.
Don't matter.
He just pulls you straight up by your arm, pulls you onto the horse. Chance, you get on the horse, and you run out the gate. You ride out the gate. You head out of town. The sheriff says, all right, one of you has to go after the prisoner.
I'm on
That or I do it.
I'm on it.
All right, Chance rides off on his own. Meanwhile, you and the sheriff ride towards the train station.
Okay.
And one thing you notice, now meanwhile, with Atakte, since he arrives first on the scene to the birds, you notice it's that one guy from earlier, that one little halfling man from earlier, who was helping with Bill with this stuff, and also it's Bill also here, and they're just sort of shooting their guns out in the sky.
Yeah.
At random, just trying to shoot these damn bats. There's like a large group of them, like I would say at least 25 of them, and they're just swarming after the cows.
All right.
And they're like, God damn, get these things off of here! And bang, bang, just all over the place.
All right. I would kind of just whistle at my mount, and then I would tear the eye sockets on the cloak a bit more so I could see, and just give it like the attack command for anything that's like or any of the things that we saw.
All right. So, you're gonna have the first round of initiative.
All right. Let's see. That'll be a 17.
All right. What are you attacking these surges with?
Well, they're pretty squishy, so I'm gonna stab a nearby one with my spear.
All right. So you reach out with your spear, slinging it out, and did you already roll a hit die?
I rolled for initiative, I thought, or was that an attack die?
That was an attack.
Okay, so it's 17 then.
17? Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Then it would be a d6.
Yep, d6.
Plus 2.
It's dead.
So, alright. And then my mount goes.
I mean, you know how squishy these things are.
My mount goes, right? Are there any, like, low enough to the ground? I would assume since it kind of towers above cattle, like, it could reach up to one that's, like, trying to grab
Yeah.
it. Okay.
It's within range of a couple of them. Most of them are too high up for melee
Alright.
range.
Let me get that sheet out real quick. There we go.
Yeah,
So-
his mount has attack actions.
It's fine. Just waiting.
Alright, it's gonna do its claw attack.
All right. Wait
So-
for the attack.
It will, since it's it doesn't, well, its hit is a 14. So, would a 14 hit?
Yes.
Okay, so...
Actually, wait. I gotta check the armor class, I think. Hold on. 284. No, it doesn't hit.
Okay.
So,
Um,
suddenly, several of the sturges swoop down and start latching themselves onto you, seeing that you successfully attack them.
Uh-oh.
SpaghettiOs.
Spaghetti.
Alright. So, does a 17 pierce it?
Yeah.
Alright. It's third.
wait, me or my mount?
You.
Yeah, me, yeah.
Yeah, you. Hey, you. Out there in the cold. I should probably just keep this page open. I'm the most ill-prepared DM.
You're fine.
Alright. So... Okay. So you go ahead and take 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
Maybe squishy, but they hit pretty hard.
Alright. And this sturge seems to swell up in size as well.
Alright.
And then another one attacks.
Okay. Wait, how many are on me? Just curious.
There's about 5 that actually start
Okay.
engaging you. The rest seem to be still focused on the cattle.
course, that'll hit.
Yeah, that hits. All
So
right, take
5.
5 points of damage. That one manages, while engaging at you, actually plunges its beak into the ground, and it seems to be stuck.
All right. That won't pierce.
What's your armor class? again?
16.
16? Yeah, that won't hit. Okay. And then, how many was that? 4?
Let's see. I got hit twice.
And then
One
one
got stuck
missed.
in the ground.
And the
Then
Yeah, that's 4, so. Last one. Was that? Yeah, that was 5.
that won't pierce.
That won't pierce. Alright. And then, Belmont and Estella arrive on the scene to see this flurry of flapping fleshy wings moving chaotically, gunshots going off, and the sound of what sounds like a tiger growling and roaring out in fury.
Should we both roll initiative?
Roll initiatives.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
4.
4. Alright. And what about you, Estella?
Your initiative?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you calculate that again?
Just your
It's
dex
just
modifier.
That's your dex mod.
It should have initiative.
6.
6. Alright. Alright, so your turn is still.
I guess I'll pull my crossbow and start aiming at them.
Alright. Go ahead and shoot at one.
Well, are you
It's an
shooting?
8, right?
Wait, where are you shooting?
You gotta roll for the actual hit first.
Oh, okay.
And also,
so
where are you shooting?
Are you shooting at some of the ones that are still flying sort of up in the sky, or are you aiming for the ones at the cow, or are you
I'm aiming
trying
for
to
the ones
help?
that are closer, that are more down low.
Okay, which ones in particular? There's 2 groups of them. There's the group that's attacking the cattle, and there's the group that's on Atakte.
I'm gonna help Atakte.
Alright.
Okay, cool. I was like, don't roll on that one. Don't roll on that one.
How much was that?
That's 19.
Okay, yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Are you attacking the one that hit Atakte, or
Wow.
which one?
Well, it's because there's one that's
There's one that stuck its nose in the ground and it can't get out. There's one that
Well, if it's on the
lashed
ground,
its-
then it's not one of the ones on me.
yeah.
Technically.
There's one that latched itself onto Atakte,
Well, I'm gonna go for that one then.
and there's
yeah.
another one that latched itself onto Atakte.
Oh, I'll go for one of them. The one that's latched on.
All right. How much you get for damage
6.
plus your mod? What is that?
But wouldn't it die from that plane hit anyways?
No.
Oh.
Shit.
Oh yeah, that's 8 then, right?
Plus your dex mod.
10?
Or
10.
Yeah.
All right. You hit it, and just blood splurts out of it. And it's clearly not the creature's blood. It's Atakte's blood.
Shit.
Is it dead though?
No,
Okay.
it's still latched on.
Okay.
Nani, they get stronger?
Oh yeah.
Damn it.
So,
Dragon Prince.
your turn, Lord
Okay.
Belmont.
So I would like to try and move to the big group and try and use my breath weapon
There we
to
go.
try and AoE the birds.
We seem to have gone offline. You're going to AoE the birds.
Try to without hitting him.
So are you gonna?
Like,
Which ones in particular?
Kind of
The
go
ones near
under
the-
and just like into the air. with
into
all
the.
ones.
Okay. All right. So they have to make a con save, right?
It is a dex save.
It's a dex save.
Yes, with the DC of 12.
Okay. Success. 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 How many was that?
5.
5.
Back up in a second.
Success.
They didn't go down
Six.
for me.
Success.
They didn't
7.
stop on me.
Success.
Oh boy.
That's
8.
8.
Or the stream was down.
Oh
a
yeah,
bit.
no, my internet went out.
That's a fail.
9.
1 fail.
Okay. I'll just keep.
Dang,
10.
yeah.
11.
Alright. That's how many there
Yeah,
were.
my
So,
internet went out.
3 were.
Oh.
So,
Oh,
3
great.
failed, the rest. Okay,
I know.
so
Guys, hold on.
every.
yeah, just
Go
wait
ahead.
a second. I'm gonna see if
Let's
I
get
can.
the internet back online so I
Yeah.
can experience.
Alright. So everyone that failed takes a d6. Everyone who succeeded takes a d6.
So,
Everyone who failed takes
You
a
still
2.
roll 2d6, and then whoever succeeded takes half of what you do.
No.
Yeah.
It's
a D6.
It's.
D means die.
I guess half, but like if one rolls a 4 and the other rolls a 2, and I do 6.
I mean,
don't do
generally
2.
how it's handled with like fireball and stuff is you roll all the dice, and whoever succeeds take half of that.
Yeah, that's how magic works. You roll, and if you
Same thing with
succeed,
breath weapon.
yeah.
Okay.
So roll the 2 dice.
We're live again.
Alright. Hold on. Give us a second.
Yeah, I got on here.
This will all be cut out of the recording, so
Yeah.
that I don't really.
Alright, we're back on.
Okay,
Yeah, we're-
sorry,
sorry.
back.
Sorry.
about that.
Internet went out.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
You have all the coke!
Hey!
I may have an addiction. All right, let's keep going.
D6.
So
Not that kind of coke, viewers.
yeah, Coca-Cola.
Mhm.
We don't do drugs.
Should we give a recap?
Don't do kids,
We're
yeah.
just-
Let's give a slight, simple recap.
So,
Well,
Lord Belmont ran into the fray and then proceeded to look up at the Sturges swarming around and then proceeded to hit them with his breath attack.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So the ones who failed take 12, and the ones who succeeded take 6.
Yeah, you killed all 11 of them.
Okay, good. Lord Belmont.
By the way, what kind of dragonborn are you?
Fire.
Oh, dude, nice.
And that's why I bought
So,
oil.
in this giant furious flame just radiating out of his mouth, he just burned
They're not-
all of these Sturges
they're not immune to
to a
fire.
crisp. No, they're not.
Okay, just
They all
checking.
burned
you
to a
said that
crisp.
they all died.
I'm just making sure. I'm
They
just
died,
making
but are they immune to fire?
well, I mean, either way.
Now
still
you can
wouldn't matter.
supply to his command.
Thank you, Evan.
My third one.
I do not own a Coke anymore.
Third one of the night. Let's go. Alright.
So, you killed 11 of the 25. I should say 12 because you also speared one.
Does Mount kill any or no?
No.
No.
Mount missed.
Sucks. So there's 13.
I was not saying
Mount
that.
sucks.
At least he has a mount.
So we can't kill 12 at a time. It sucks.
So, wait, one second. Let me look at that. I may have read that wrong, to be honest. Which, I mean, I'm fine with him missing the first one, but...
No, fired. And they all died.
You know, died again.
I fired and I didn't miss.
Alright, so, with the claw attack, because I've never owned a beast before, so do I roll for that, or is that just like a spell word, like it has a hit for 14?
Normally you would roll.
You would roll.
Okay, then
That's
I'll do
what-
that next
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
What's up?
Just that you should know.
Alright, so, who's
Oh, you
next?
should know.
Next would be you,
Okay.
Atakte. Actually, yeah, it's you and then your beast, and then the
Okay.
swarm.
The swarm and then these two and then.
Okay, I'd use some of my movement speed to hop down in front of my monster, per se. And while doing that, the one that like blood sprayed out of, I would go ahead and stab with my dagger. Or try to, anyways. Did you hear any of that?
Sorry, I was reading.
Alright, so I hop off my mount for some of my movement speed in front of it, and as I'm doing that, I stab the one that blood sprayed out of with my dagger.
Alright.
So, what's it? Oh wait, I just add dex to that. So that'll be 18
18.
to hit.
Alright. Roll damage.
Alright. And with the dagger. So that'll be 10.
Alright. You kill it.
Okay. And then
There's still the other one that's attached to you.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. I don't have any bonus actions that I can like really do at the moment.
How far would you say I am from? Like how?
You're like maybe 20 feet away from him.
Okay.
As a bonus action, can I like throw my cloak at the other two that tried to bite me?
Sure.
Alright, just to like try and see if I can get them off me or something.
All right, you throw your cloak at the other two that tried to bite you. They seem to. It seems to land on them all right, and they just seem to shake it off.
Okay. Then my mount goes, and he's going to attack the one that's on me. Like,
Alright.
like he's gonna swipe it off the other
Alright,
one.
roll for the attack.
So that'll be a 22 to hit.
It hits.
Okay.
Roll for damage.
So 2d8 plus 5. So that'll be a 16 to hit, or for damage.
16 for damage. All right. All right, that kills it.
Okay.
Falls off of you.
Okay. And then, as a bonus action, I would like it to stand over me.
All right. The mount is now standing over Atakte.
Yep.
Asserting dominance.
like I'm underneath its belly almost.
All right. With this, the two that you threw your cloak on over dash away from the whole thing, sort of flying southward.
So flying southward.
Yeah. From where they came.
Okay. Wait, south from where they came? So like they
Yeah, they came from the south, remember?
Yeah, and so then they're flying back south?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
flying back.
Okay.
It's as if they were retreating. Exactly.
Alright, and that ends my mount's turn.
Now there's still the swarm that's attacking the cattle. You have to deal with. Keep that in mind.
How many are left?
From what you can see, let's see, how many was there? 11. Yeah. There's 11 left.
Can you hear
To
me
be
chewing?
fair,
Well, I mean, it's
that
their turn, isn't
microphone's
it?
pointing directly at his face.
Hey, Nathan, it's their
All I
turn.
hear is chewing.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's their turn, right?
Yeah.
Because
So
my turn.
it's these ones' turn, but they seem to be more focused on the cattle than
Alright, so
you.
then it's your.
They haven't even noticed you. Really.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna-
So- You said there's 11 left?
Yeah.
Could
Well-
you describe where...
So there were 25 total, right?
Yeah.
He burned up 11.
Yeah.
And then I killed.
4.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've killed. Yeah, 4. So we're down to 10.
And then
Yeah.
two
Sorry,
left.
10. You're right.
And then the 2 left. The
Oh, so yeah, you're down to 8. Sorry,
Okay.
my apologies.
No
I can math.
problem.
Yeah, so where are the 8 located exactly?
They're circling around the cows,
Okay, yeah.
sort of latching on, and Bill, the little halfling assistant man, cattle driver, whatever, like
So-
trying to get him off the cow without like harming the cow at the same time.
Alright, so... Yeah, I'll attack.
Thank you, Tech Man. Yeah, we have a guy on.
Your silent words of wisdom.
Alright, anyways.
Anyway,
Yeah, so I'll start attacking, I guess. Okay, that's a 6.
Plus
What am I supposed to add to that again?
Dex.
And your
for
We have a little
Proficiency.
weapon section.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it is a plus. Should be a plus.
okay,
What's
so...
your dex?
Okay, let me actually roll... Okay, I was not rolling with the right one. I have to...
No. You roll for the right one to hit. So
Okay.
you come over here, and so your crossbow has a +2 to it, so it's going to be 8 to hit.
Okay, yeah, and
Well,
then
what's your dex?
my dex is...
It's your dex a +2 and your proficiency a +2. So you should have a +4.
Well, does she have proficiency in ranged weapons?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it would be 4 to hit. So then it would be a
10.
10.
Alright,
10 total.
10 total. Not hitting.
Oof.
Doesn't hit. Doesn't hit.
Alright. Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, so I'm gonna try and
Belmont.
pull out my sword and swing at one of them.
Your spells.
Meanwhile, Sheriff Dowry and Follis arrive on the scene.
Cut myself.
Well,
What is it, 12 hit?
12 to hit?
Yeah.
No.
3,
Doesn't hit.
Initiative?
Yep, roll initiative.
It acts as a bonus action.
No roll for Dowry.
Use a bonus action for
What did you get?
7 total.
5.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
Alright,
healing
Dowry
word
goes
is
first.
So, if a party member goes down,
Dowry, riding his horse, whips out his revolver,
now
fires at
completely negates
some of
having
these
to do this. Basically, if a member goes
suckers,
down, you just
literally.
roll it back up. It's like 1d4, but basically
Alright.
it prevents them from dying or having
Bang!
saving
He
throws,
misses.
saving themselves from dying.
Alright, so when I use
That's
it with
what
my
this is
weapon,
all
or when I
about.
use it on the party member?
Right.
You would use
This
it,
is all
so like what you
about-
would do is you would cast healing word
Okay.
on said party member. Don't use it on me right now.
Alright, Dowry,
Whenever
get
you
out
get
of
the
the way.
chance, use healing
my turn.
word. If like
I don't
someone
say
goes
that
down,
much.
they
Did the
get-
internet go out again?
they have to start rolling
I
death
just
saving
noticed
throws,
that we're
because you
buffering.
will instantly
Like so
bring it
much,
back
right?
up and they won't have to like risk dying.
Okay, alright, thank you.
No problem. And again, it's a bonus action, so like after you fire your crossbow, you can be like, oh wait, and I cast healing word on. So
That's we're still streaming.
Alright, great.
It's me a little finicky, but we're okay.
Alright, so what's everyone's plan?
Is it my turn next?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I still on the horse?
Yeah, you're still on the horse.
How close are we to this one that's attacking the cattle?
You're within, like, I would say, maybe 60 feet of it.
Fine. I don't get to do my cool sword thing. I take out my crossbow and my bolts. I puncture myself with one of the bolts
Uh-huh.
with the crossbow and I put the bolt in the crossbow, puncture myself, then I fire.
Alright.
So I take -2 damage. And then fucking miss.
What'd you roll?
Fucking 2.
Okay, yeah, that misses.
So this cool flaming bolt.
At this point, the Sturges have moved on to the next cow.
Caw. No, I'm just kidding.
Call.
Was the sheriff with him?
Yeah, the sheriff's on, like, he's with him.
So wouldn't he go now?
No, he went before him, and he missed.
Sorry, I was talking to her. So.
I fired and I missed. Fired.
So is it back to me then?
I missed both times.
Yep.
Alright. So, I guess while I'm underneath my mount, I'll pull out an arrow, knock it, and then shoot one of the Sturges that I see.
Alright.
So it'll be a 21.
21, that hits.
Alright.
Roll damage.
So,
I mean,
wait,
you can roll damage, but
am I gonna kill it?
you're gonna kill it.
Okay, yeah, because I get like a +7 on it automatically, so.
I love rangers.
So, I kill it. Then my mount goes.
Hooray!
Um,
JK, it's not a horse.
is my mount like. So, relative to where my mount is, how far away are the cattle?
The cattle are like within like 20 feet.
Okay, so, seeing that they are not like interested in me at all, I'm gonna whistle for my mount to jump at them. Alright, so with that, he would be able to do an attack with his beak and also one with his claw.
Alright.
So, I'll roll for the beak first. 16 flat. Is that gonna hit with that one?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll also roll for the claw right now. That's gonna be a 2, so would a 9 hit?
No.
Okay, so he'll hit with the beak, which... creature, 1, 2. So 13, does that kill it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That kills it.
Okay. Then that ends our turn.
Yep. The Sturges, realizing that this is happening, detach themselves from the cow that they were latching themselves onto, the remaining 6 under there. They fly off southward.
Okay. So do they happen to fly over me?
Yeah.
Can I shoot at them? Since
Yeah, it is attack of opportunity.
Alright. So I'm gonna shoot it. Well, would I be able to take an attack opportunity on every single one?
No.
No.
You can only do
Okay.
one.
You can only do
have
one.
one reaction.
Okay, then I'll just shoot at like the one that's furthest away from all the other ones,
All right.
just so that way.
Would I be able to hit one with the sword, or are they flying too high?
They're flying too high for a sword.
Unless you
So-
throw it.
12
Oh,
flat.
you're so
12 flat. No modifiers to that?
My Greek sword.
Well, like, do you want me to add my modifiers real quick?
Yeah, add your modifiers.
All right. So to hit, I think it's like a +9. So.
Oh, then it hits.
Yeah. Okay.
You killed it. All right.
Okay.
One kill.
All right.
Thank you, Evan.
Then I guess that's all that I can do at the moment.
All right.
Wow, that was
Is
one.
that it?
That was one turn.
Yeah.
You guys want to do anything now?
Is Darren gonna get off his horse?
I'm gonna retrieve my arrows, and stop my mount from eating any of their bodies.
All right.
Could
Question.
I?
How many bats are left?
Well, there were the 2 that took off earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the 5 that are flying away right now, and that's it. There's no more.
I'm gonna shoot one more time. Are they within 80 feet? Or are they, like, above that?
Yes, they are.
Okay, I'll
Question.
take disadvantage.
I know I'm not here, but how fast are they flying?
They fly at 40 feet.
40 feet.
Unless an 8 can hit one of them.
Huh?
8.
Oof.
Do I now notice that they're bats?
Yes.
Not birds.
Yes. They're not actually bats, by the way.
You just don't know what
They're
to
like
call them.
fleshy pink bats with like snouts of like mosquitoes, but at the end there's like pincers like a mouth of a bat.
Okay. I'm gonna shamefully just put my crossbow.
So,
Can I?
you know those hairless cats? It's just a giant flying hairless cat.
No, because hairless cats don't have like hummingbird beaks with like little fangs on the end of them.
So it's something out of like a 30s horror film.
Yes, that's actually fairly accurate to what these
So,
are.
Before Joe was really interrupted two times.
I was gonna ask, can I search and retrieve my bolts as well?
Absolutely.
Roll for perception so you can find them. It's
No, she can get them.
Also,
but it's dark. I'm just kidding.
after I retrieve
vision.
those and like lead my mount away from all the bodies, I'm gonna check on my wounds.
All right. You check your wounds. Do a medicine check.
I'm not like checking to see if I can like heal them or anything. Do you want me to just check and see like if I can see if they're like getting infected or anything?
That's exactly what I want you to
okay.
do.
Okay. Just making sure that we're on the same page. One second. It'll be at 15.
All right. Also roll a Constitution save.
16 flat. With it'll be like +3.
Okay.
1 second. No, 2. So 18.
I mean, although there is quite a fair amount of saliva on you, you don't feel too bad. If anything, you're suffering from a bit of blood loss. That's just about it.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
All right. My cloak's off of me. Unfortunately, do I see where it landed?
Yeah, I landed on the ground.
All right. I'll just kind of pick it up and use it to like dress my wounds.
All right.
I just found that really funny. Do I see where it landed? Yeah, it's on the ground.
Like,
Where else was it gonna land? The sky?
Yes, it would have landed on the sturges and flown off with them.
that's what I was thinking.
It lands on a mountain.
But I'll dress my wounds and just like kind of sit near my mount and make sure that I'm not gonna pass out.
Sheriff, we want to head south, where these things appear to be coming from.
He goes, "Yep," and the horse just
Wait,
gets going.
Wait. Not right now. I mean, we're gonna go to the source of them, but not now. No one else can follow us except for him.
Look, we need to at least find the source of them. We go there, find out where they're coming from, and then we head back, come up with a plan, regroup, deal with this problem later. Yep! And he just starts bolting, dude.
Alright, see you guys later.
He just kidnapped you, dude.
Can I roll medicine on my wounds? Or like the 2 points of damage I took?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Listen, I cut myself and it did nothing.
boo-boo. Are you serious?
6.
You feel like you're going to faint. No.
I just can't fix them.
Yeah, no, you just can't fix it,
Give me
dude.
your D20. I don't like this one. You can have this one.
That's my D20. He's using my dice.
It's mine now.
Alright.
Alright, so should we do second chances thing? Because I feel like.
Meanwhile, Chance ran out in the general direction you feel this Tabaxi headed.
Keep that one.
So, Chance, where are you going?
I'm going to roll for survival. See
Uh-huh.
if I can find him by any chance. He's on foot, so he's not moving that fast.
Yeah.
How fast do horses?
I would say like
how
80
fa-
feet.
No, it's like 60.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like
thinking
60.
It's like 60. Fucking wieners! I got a 7.
Alright. Yeah, you don't see it. You don't see any tracks.
I'm just gonna keep heading out and roll for perception to see if I see anything.
Alright.
Oh, that's only at a 14. All right.
14.
14, yeah. And it's still dark out, right?
And one thing you do notice is written in the ground in blood is the letters LC.
In blood.
In blood.
Specifically.
LC.
Son of a bitch.
Lost cause.
He likes your chicken fingers. Do I notice any blood? Do I notice blood trails leading in a certain direction, or is
No.
it just there?
It's just there.
Fuck. Gucci gang. Gucci gang. I guess can I just keep heading out?
Yeah, if you want.
Keep rolling till I see something.
Alright.
17.
Take 10.
Can I take a 10?
You're not seeing anything.
It's just a waste of my time. Alright. I'm gonna head back. There's no way I can find him at this point.
Roll survival to see if you remember where you were.
Exactly. Actually, you lost out.
Yeah, dude, you gotta be careful.
Completely lost.
That's why you can't just charge after people, dude.
You weren't even following the road, mind you.
My second chance. We're splitting the party already. Second chance is off in the desert, and I'm going south.
Certainly doesn't help that it's nighttime.
I'm gonna... Is there any place I can tie the horse to?
There's a small tree.
I'll tie the horse to the tree, and I'm gonna take a nap.
Alright.
In the
Second
middle.
chance wakes up. All the gang is there around him.
Everyone is here.
Everyone's here.
I had a dream, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there.
I mean, thinking about it, it was actually more of a nightmare, but...
Yeah, these fucking
Now what?
weird
Alright.
flesh bird things came out and started sucking the blood out of everything.
Huh?
What's next?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up camp for the rest of the night.
What does the party want to do?
Well, I'm patching up my wounds.
Alright. You guys are patching up your wounds. Pholus has headed off with the sheriff, being kidnapped by the sheriff.
I'm just
We
looking
should,
behind me.
Head back to town.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah! Let's go,
Can they
guys.
fix me?
So you three head back to town.
Well, I asked a question.
Oh?
I went, can they fix me? And then I kind of show where I got injured. I don't know where she is.
Oh, well, fucking speak up!
I could probably take care of that.
No.
Medicine. I have medicine.
Well, the things that I have only stop blood. He's lost blood.
Just wait.
Sleep it off.
That blood comes back.
What can you do?
Well, in
now?
case you don't remember from what happened when Carson used that.
Yeah.
Seems to not only stop blood, the scabs seem to heal at an almost like ungodly rate.
It's like the opposite of the cows. Oh!
Campaign GG.
Found the
Game's over.
panacea.
Wait, you're Native American.
All right.
We're all native men.
I got a nerve that I think it can help. So I
Alright, I would just kind of like shrug my shoulder and like take off the bandage and like move my wing out of the way so she can get to it.
Alright.
The first one, anyways.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
take
because he
out
has
the-
2 wounds.
Oh, I can manage both.
Alright. So, you bandaged it. Roll your d8.
Crush the herbs up and
That's not how it works.
So 3 for the first one, and then I would just kind of like move my other wing out of the way and like lift my arm so she can get to my other.
This one doesn't seem to scab over as well as, or it does scab over, but it doesn't seem to heal nearly as fast as
Yeah.
Folus's.
Do I roll for the second one as well?
6.
Alright.
Thank you.
Anytime.
What name?
Pardon?
What name? And then I point to the herb.
He's asking about the herb, not you!
Well,
So fucking funny.
He doesn't even remember, probably.
I don't know how to pronounce it. No.
dear God, what's the name of this herb? God's like, yo, I got you, fam.
I mean, the lady who was selling to you didn't even know how to pronounce it, really.
I don't exactly know the name. I got it from the little shopkeeper down in the city.
Which one?
The general shop. Little elf lady runs the place.
We'll have to ask later. Thank you.
Mhm.
Here, and then I pull out and take one of my like small.
You pull out?
Well, no, no. I pull out one of my small like little talisman things that I might wrap around my neck like a tooth or something, and then I just hand it to her.
Thank you.
Alright.
For the audience at home, I'm sitting over here wearing headphones, listening to a preview so I can hear when Jay did the pop sound.
This is our tech guy speaking, Eric.
Yeah, I'm in the corner.
Eric Computers.
Yeah, he's Eric Pewters, dude. He's actually hooked up to the PC, so we actually know.
Him himself.
Yeah. If the internet goes down, we have to inform him that the internet goes down. But that he informs us ahead of time. He goes, ah! And then, you know.
Also, he knows Kung Fu.
Yeah.
All right.
I know.
That's
So,
besides the point.
are we heading back into town?
The references.
Yes. I wish I could.
All right, you see.
Might sleep in bed tonight. Not
Bolus and Sheriff Dowry are following this flock of angry bats.
Are we moving faster than them?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
And they're flying. They fly through the hilly regions. And the horse sort of loses pace, but manages to keep up just as well. Just because, you know, it's a horse and it moves pretty darn fast. But it slows down a significant amount as you're moving through these hillier, rockier regions. You notice the bats seem to fly up into this cave.
It's the Bat Cave.
How far away is that cave?
Right now, it's about, I would say, like 120 feet from you.
We could get closer. See what's in there.
If you think it's safe enough to do so.
I'd say as soon as we get like 50 feet of it, I look at it, bolt.
Alright. Well. He whips out his pistol, gets off the horse. He's like, let's go. Let's be quiet. Heads in. Heads up with you. Roll stealth.
I have disadvantage.
Get that.
Fuck. Should have been.
It's Dowry's stealth. I mean, Dowry seems to do fine. Very stealthy like.
9.
You're kicking rocks as you climb up.
My armor's a bit too heavy.
Just a little bit.
just a wee bit.
And you hear some shuffling from inside the cave. What do you wish to do?
I'm gonna stop walking.
Dowry stops right
I
behind
hear a
you.
strange, suspicious noise. I stop.
Do you have dark vision?
I can see at night.
I'm causing a lot of noise. I'll stay here, but how far away are we approximately right now?
You're about 60 feet away now.
All right, move 10 more feet forward. See what you can see, and then get out.
He moves forward, trips over a rock. And a couple of rocks tumble down. And the shuffling sounds like they're actually approaching from outside, from the cave.
I want to pull him up with athletics.
All right, well, athletics.
I'm not rolling that one. I can need. 12.
12. All right, you pull him up.
Okay, good. Now we're running.
Yeah, him and he starts to dash towards the horse as well.
All right. Yeah, we're running.
All right, you run to your horse. You quickly mount it. Yeah, and off you go.
Off you grow.
Off you grow.
You, bro.
Suddenly, like, you thought 25 was bad. There's like 50 of them up in the sky, and they're all chasing after you. But after a while, because the horse seems to be fast enough, they give up. Start going back to their cave.
Get a big net.
All right.
All right,
Thank the god.
you make it back to sound safely.
That's him. He's God.
What?
No.
Actually, what God do you believe in?
None. That's
I'm
why
not
I
talking
said
about in real life. I'm talking about. I'm just kidding.
none. That's why I said the god.
All right. So, you make it back to town. Dowry's like, we'll deal with this in the morning.
What time would you say it is?
Roughly around now.
Right now, after all that commotion,
Yeah.
it's roughly about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Are we back in town now?
Yeah, you guys are back in town. What do you wish to do right now?
I'm gonna go to the tavern.
All right, you're gonna go to the tavern, go back to your room. I take it.
Sheriff, there's one problem. We don't have enough horses, and we have to buy them. The prospect was that he gave me is if I figured out what was going on with his horse, then he would give me 14 gold per horse instead.
I'll inform him that you resolved the issue.
All right. I'll go to bed.
All right.
My owies hurt.
What about you, Estella and Atakte?
I mean, I don't really. I'll just go back to my room.
All right.
I'm gonna kind of like, I guess, I don't know, because I don't want to just be out in the open, but my cloak is kind of intact.
One thing you do notice is that Chance isn't there still.
I mean, he'll come back eventually.
Are we all outside right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
Really?
actually inside a game.
Where is Chance?
He went off to, because one of the prisoners broke out and was running. He went with his own horse to find him.
Into plains or woods?
Plains, I believe.
Harder to track out in plains, especially from horseback. Do not trust that he will be back today.
Yeah.
All right.
Shall go find? I can find.
What region are you? Because the ranger thing.
Ranger
it's like,
thing.
Yeah. What?
He
like,
can't tell you. That's metagaming.
Yeah,
That's. You're right. That is.
can't give that info.
All right. I wish you
No
luck,
give
friend.
info.
No give info.
Where last see?
He was going out.
Sort of in the direction of the train station,
Okay.
but it was more northward.
Where
Or not
you
northward,
parked?
southward, sorry.
Where did you park?
Get my cardinal directions confused.
Okay, where did we part? 'Cause that's the question he's asking now.
Okay. I mean, you parted at the actual, at Dari's house.
Okay, we left at Nari's house.
Where?
Got on horse and left. I mean, there's no real.
No, warehouse.
He doesn't know where Dari's house is.
It's one of the biggest houses.
It's down the road from
I mean, it's down the road from
the
Where?
sheriff's office.
the sheriff's office.
Right, because you know the road splits right there.
But I don't see why you would want to go there.
It's the same path that you took to get to Sue's.
I don't see why you'd want to go there. He's gonna be out. I mean,
Just
Yes.
figuring out the trail.
okay,
So he head that way, and I point towards the train station.
sort of a bit more southward.
Be back. Alright. I hop on my mount and then just head off towards the direction that he pointed me in.
Right.
And then once I'm there, do I see any tracks? That's a 7. No, I don't.
All right. Well, it's 9:39,
Fuck, I took a whole horse
and
out.
seeing that half the party is now asleep, one of the party members is missing, and the other one is going to track him. I think now is a perfect time to wrap this up. Thank you for coming and
I got fucked!
viewing our stream.
My blood curses nothing.
I hope you come by to see our next session, and
Next Sunday, not this Sunday.
yeah, we'll be doing this again next Sunday. So not to
The 30th.
yes.
Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. And just remember, if you missed any part of the stream,
We will be posting the VODs both here, and we will also be posting them on our YouTube channel. Feel
Both
free
are in
to
our Twitch description.
feel free to hang out on our Discord. We do talk with the fans, and you know we're planning on adding some things later on that hopefully you can be a little more interactive with. So yeah, Eric, take us out.
yeet!